the one, the only, the brilliant, the beautiful Kate Farr, Bionic Dance. Hello, my love. How are you?
Stoned, how are you?
Oh, I wish. I
Yeah, no,
wish.
actually, I'm sort of rewarding myself for a good morning. I had a decent breakfast, went out shopping, and then played an hour of Beat Saber. Um,
Ooh.
I'm like really sort of stretching my ability to play it. Part of my motivation is exercise, part of my motivation is it's just plain fun, but part of my motivation is also trying to exercise my short-term memory to get some of it back, god damn it. So
Oh,
yeah.
my.
So it's been a productive morning so far, and I'm celebrating with weed and Red Bull.
Oh, man. That's amazing.
Then hi to everybody in the chat. I see Beck there. I
No.
see Kiro J. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I've seen you online like since forever, but I've never been sure how to. Unless I'm thinking of someone else. Maybe I'm not thinking of Kira. It might be Keo. I remember. I don't fucking know. And I see Greg and Harmonica Man. So
What are you? Are you Miss Barbara on Romper Room here?
I haven't watched that since the '70s, so I don't really know.
Okay. Okay.
I'm guessing that
Like
was how you'd greet the audience.
something I don't know.
And then we also have, yes, last on the list, but first in our hearts, the wonderful Mage Grey Wolf. Hello, love. How are you?
Not doing too bad. I'm just in the middle of doing laundry because I ran out of things clean to wear.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Put it off way too long.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
So
Yes,
I
I'm
made.
having grocery store
Whoa!
brand Korean dumplings.
Oh, nice.
I was seeing something with Harmonica Man here. Says, "Hey Beck, are things better this month? What happened, Beck? What? I missed some news. Clearly,
I think I may have missed some news as well. Something wrong going on?
Yeah, fill us in, Beck.
but
Inquiring minds want to know.
yeah." So I've been working on a new project. Well, reworking an old project. It's Java Centauri, which is something that I've been working on since like early 2000s.
Okay.
But I never really went anywhere with it. I would like to, and I just got the most recent copy of 3ds Max, which uses a new renderer, and so I'm having to redo almost everything from the ground up, but not absolutely everything. And it's going fairly quickly because working on Quinn Redshift really honed my skills. So I've been doing a lot of that, but not much else, honestly. That and Beat Saber. It's winter out there. It got down to -12 a week or two ago, so I'm not really going out a lot. So there's not a lot to do.
How are you holding up in that cold?
Well, the cold isn't the problem, it's the cabin fever.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that cold would kill me.
It's not bad when you're not forced out into it. I mean, I used to say I hated Vermont, hate winter, hate everything, when I was like little. But now I'm realizing like part of why I hated it is because my parents insisted I play outside. And then there was all that time spent waiting for the school bus, freezing my ass off. I mean, I hated it because I couldn't escape it. Now I go out only as much as I want to, and so, like, the cold isn't that bad if all I'm doing is going down to the grocery store or the dispensary or something.
Oh,
Okay.
if you didn't
Okay.
notice it, Beck's asking for a link if you can send in them one.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I'll do it
I'm
to that.
I'm looking for there's Beck in the message thing.
Besides, I haven't chatted with Beck in real time in ages.
Okay, so let's get a thingy do here.
Wow, flashed through my head. Yeah, you ever see the movie The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension?
Uh,
Anyone?
yes.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
because all of a sudden my brain just goes, aha, we've got the adventures of Beckaroo Bonsai going on over here. I don't know. It's just where my brain goes.
Did Diana take herself out of the stream?
It looks like it. I don't know what happened. I think she was trying to get Beck a link and it went wrong.
I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this whole StreamYards thing. I'm gonna do a live stream for my channel.
There we go. There we go. Now I did it. Yeah, I took myself out of the stream.
What happened, though? Was that on purpose?
I hit the wrong button.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that should be your middle name, I think.
Yeah.
Diana, I hit the wrong button, Clarion.
Yeah, I'm planning to basically learn how to do StreamYards or it's live for my first live stream.
Hmm.
So technical difficulties will be expected.
Well, I've actually been thinking a little bit about trying to stream like on my second channel that I haven't touched in ages that was meant to be a gaming channel. And I mean, you can make money streaming games if you're, I guess, charming. I don't know. But it'd be worth doing it because animation is taking forever, and I'm having a hard time coming up with a new episode of Head Meats that I'm going to be proud of. And I got to pay the bills somehow, so I'm thinking seriously about getting back into my gaming channel.
Yeah, so you're gonna be streaming Hogwarts Legacy then, huh?
Yeah, no, I was thinking more like Elite Dangerous.
Okay, Beck, I think I finally got a thing sent out to you.
But yeah, I mean, it's something I've thought about. I've also had a few people say, "Hey, Kate, you rollerblade naked in parades. How about getting on OnlyFans and doing naked Beat Saber?" And I'm like, I don't know.
Different energy there, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Although, I mean, it is OnlyFans. I don't know. I don't do a lot of things motivated by money, though. So, hey.
I don't know. Money is kind of nice in certain situations, though.
Oh, it's absolutely nice to have. It's just, well, I don't know. Like I've thought if some company looks at Quinn Redshift, goes, "Oh my God, we have to develop this," not holding my breath, but if they did, and they came to me with like a bunch of contracts, they'd be like, "Guys, I'll take less money if I have more like contractual guarantees that the characters and story will stay true." Like you don't fuck around with my characters, and if you feel it's not diverse enough, add new ones, that kind of thing. But and I'd be like, "Guys, I'll take less money if you let me have a bit more artistic control, because I'd rather have that than the moolah." If I ever find myself after I've built my dream home with more money than I think I can spend, it's going to charity. So I don't do a lot of things motivated by money.
Okay.
I'm just saying. But I do want to build my dream home.
I know that feeling.
I have ideas. It's not a matter of being big. It's a matter of style. When you walk into my home, I want you to go, "Wait a minute, how did I get on this space station?" This is clearly an extrasolar colony. How did I get here? That's what I want you thinking when you walk into my home, small or not. So, I'd have to go to some sci-fi designer and an architect and say, "Okay, collaborate."
Yeah, I've got the dream home idea. It's only about 1,000 square feet, but it's packed full of stuff.
But what does it look like?
I don't know yet. I haven't quite figured out where everything goes. I have the what in my mind, what is in it, but not where it goes yet.
Well, but what I meant was style wise. Art Deco, Gothic, fucking brutalist. What are we talking about here? Hey,
Hey.
Mac.
Beck, how you
Nice to
doing?
see you.
Hello,
Wow,
beautiful
I have
people.
not
How are
seen
we?
you in a while. I didn't know you had the chin pubes going on.
Oh yeah, I actually trimmed it, so I'm letting it grow back in now. But I'm pretty
Well,
hairy.
Nice
Yeah.
job on the voice there.
It's true.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
Well, the funny thing is, when I first met you, I honestly thought you'd been on T for a while because I didn't think that was your original voice.
That's okay because most people like I'd say about a quarter of the community thought I was a guy already.
Yeah.
And then they
Okay.
told me afterwards, they were like, "Oh,
Well,
I
mean,
didn't."
like I knew that you were trans and all of that, but part of me
Yeah.
thought that you were a ways along in the process, further than I thought
Previously,
you were. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
No, that was well, that's why my voice is so deep now. Because my voice was already kind of deep for the gender I identified as. So now that it's gone, it's deeper than my brother's, except for my brother Walt. I'm about as low as him. My other three brothers aren't this low.
Well, the thing is, it totally suits you. Like, seriously, you seem more
Thank you.
like you than you did before.
So, okay, so I'm going to summarize what's been going on
Yes, dear.
in my life because it's a long story and I don't want to crowd it up with a bunch of wham. Okay, so October 9th, 8th or 9th, the woman I had been waiting for 6 months told me she was dating someone else.
Oy.
Ooh.
So that was rough. It was a good kick in the nuts. And then on October 13th, after telling them for 2 weeks I couldn't work with this guy, they put me out 2 weeks in a row with him. And on the last day, I lost my shit and I lost my job.
Oy.
So I came home and I got left work, got in my truck, and I was driving around like a maniac. Like, I'm mad at myself, and I'm very, very happy I didn't hurt anybody. I'm not worried about me, but I was driving around other people in 25 mile per hour zones, going like 80 or 90. A little dangerous.
Yeah.
I got to my place. My brother was out here working for my landlord. I skidded to a stop. I couldn't even articulate. I got out of the truck and I just screamed at the top of my lungs. Got back in my truck to go after my ex. Luckily, she was not at work that day. She left. Good job. Good job, Heather. Good job. So did that. Got up the road. Stopped. And just pulled into a dirt pull out and just fucking started crying and shit. And then my sister called me and then she got me more riled up. So I went back after my ex again. That's when I found out she wasn't at work. Anyway, so I lost my shit. I lost everything and I lost my shit. Because after about 60 jobs and being fired at least 25, closer to 30, but I can't remember some of them. For my PTSD and my attitude and my bad temper and my bad attitude. I just don't want to do it anymore. I feel like every time I'm walking out the door to go to work, I'm just beating my head on a concrete wall, What am I doing? It's just going to happen again. 25 times, 60 plus jobs. So I still haven't got a damn dime of unemployment. And disability, still waiting for them to do their shit and everything.
That's going to take a while.
Yeah, it can take a while.
I know. Well, what happened was I put my paperwork in, right? And they were like, we don't see anything from you. I don't know. It just disappeared in the system somewhere, so I had to redo it. So I'll be sending that in Tuesday with a representative who's helped me do it way better than the way I had it anyways.
That's a good idea.
And I'm just kind of hiding in my house. I'm done. I'm done with the fucking world. I don't want to be out in it anymore. I go out like once a week and I do everything on one day and then I just hide the rest of the week. So
I know that feeling.
I'm just done. Just fucking fed up. I hate society. I hate people. I hate the fact that I'm a good person and I get treated like shit. And I've spent all of my life try to be the best good person I can become. And like a truly good person. And all it's done was it's got me shit on. So I'm just done with society. I'm sick of 99% of the people out there.
Yeah, being on the side of the good guys rarely does anyone any favors.
Yeah, right? Excluding my online people. I love you guys. Anyway, so that's it. That's my whole story. I'm just in a holding pattern. I'm trying to find some kind of a overnight job where I work by myself completely. It's really hard to do. Otherwise than that, I don't even want to walk out. I don't even want to go I have to go to the store today because I'm low on coffee, and I'm very disappointed that I didn't buy like 4 more bags to make it longer, So, but I do have food stamps, so I have food. And they gave me all last summer's food stamps for some reason. So
really?
So I'm paying my rent with food stamps right now. So I have 1 more month, and then I can't pay my rent anymore. So we'll see how it goes in April. But hey, good news, guys. I have really good news. You ready? I don't know who knows and who doesn't. March 9th, yeet the teat. I'm getting my top surgery.
Oh, hey.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Apparently, if you get Medicaid, they cover it.
Oh, cool.
With the insurance that I have in New Mexico, they just cover it.
Now, I know that there are ways to do that doesn't actually leave those twin scars under there, but I don't know what the difference is.
Okay, here's the difference. First of all, it depends on the size of your breast. Biggest thing. Smaller your breast, smaller holes they can make. There's one they have where they just cut out the areola for like size A, small A's. They cut out the areola, remove the areola, pull the stiff out, and then replace the areola. And they leave a little bit of tissue, flesh stuff behind it just to keep the areola so it heals right and it stays right.
Right.
Then there's another one where they go around the areola and then they come straight down. It's called a keyhole. And that is for larger A people. And then they have one that they do is kind of like an anchor. And those are for B-ish people. That's the one I'm having done. So the scarring won't be too bad. Hopefully, I don't have to go through a plastic surgeon because the surgeon I have who has been doing breast destruction and reconstruction for the last 30 plus years said, I have done this enough that I feel comfortable with skipping the plastic surgeon and I'll do it myself. And I said, really? Because I said, I can't afford to go to a plastic surgeon, And she's like, because I said, because she said something about plastic surgeon. I said, no, I came here because everybody I know in Santa Fe said you are the best breast surgeon.
There you are.
So that's why I'm here. So she said, okay, I feel comfortable doing it myself. Are you okay with that? And I said, absolutely. She goes, it'll be the same amount of risk as you would have with the plastic surgeon of losing or keeping it. And I said, let's do it. So she's just going to do the whole thing for me. And we get to skip the extra asshole in her way. Basically, she's just going to do it herself. And she said, I wouldn't do this if I don't feel comfortable. She's amazing, guys. I mean, this woman is, wow. Like, she's so cool. And I walked in there. Now, mind you, I walked into a breast cancer center. So I walk in with a beard. No guy in the entire place but me. And I said, I'm so glad you guys are so cool. And Dr. Seba was like, people should just be able to do whatever they want. That's the bottom line. Who cares? If you want to do it, do it.
The pun part of my brain is always a little bothered by how it's called top surgery. They did brain surgery on me. I had top surgery. You're going to be having upper middle surgery, damn it.
But it's trans top surgery. There's only two places you do surgery on trans.
I'm just being
top
a goof.
and bottom. That's it.
I'm just being a goof, like I said, my pun brain decided to have a little fun. I actually can't turn that part off. Like seriously,
No,
I can't.
I don't want you to
if
turn
I
it
don't
off.
want to be thinking of top surgery puns or whatever, I can't stop. It just happens. The best I can do is not tell other people. but whatever.
Okay, now I'm annoyed.
Touche.
The last sip of my orange juice had pulp in it, and it's supposed to be pulpless.
Ugh.
Oh, I love pulp.
Ugh.
Chew it up and swallow it, baby.
Ugh. Now, well, okay. If it's pulp from like an orange wedge, a slice, whatever, that's fine. If it's in my orange juice, it's the same energy as walking through seaweed. It's like there's something in here that's going to bite me. It's just creepy. That's all. And Beck appears fascinated by something.
Oh, I was just reading I was trying to catch up with the side chat because I didn't have it up while I was talking, and I didn't want to miss anything that people were saying.
And
Microraptor said the breast of the breast.
Mm.
Why, she's a breast of fresh ass.
Ew.
And good morning, everybody. I didn't say hi to like Skits and Micro. Oh, and Alias. Hi.
We got all the good people here.
I know, you guys always do.
Oh, there's a few that are missing.
I've been sleeping in on Sunday morning, so I keep missing you guys. So I actually went to bed on time and slept like freaking 11 hours last night. So here I am. Wide awake.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Like I've been expending my mental and emotional energy early every day, where it's like there's only so long I can work on animation before some part of my brain says, do something else, right? And usually, like, the stuff that I really genuinely want to do, I have had enough long before it's time to go to bed. And so it's like part of me wants to go to bed early just so it's tomorrow sooner. You know, like I'm not tired. I just want to, get to the next day faster. But I'm usually left either doom scrolling Twitter or playing Galactic Civilizations 4.
I'm left not doing much of anything. My entire system is falling apart. I still have to tear it all apart and rebuild it.
Oh, I thought you were talking about yourself.
Yeah, I did it
that
first
too.
I have to admit. I thought that's what you were talking about at first too. I have to admit that.
No, I have to get a lot taken apart and put back together here too, because I still need to have work done on my spine, and I still need to have work done on my heart. It's like I think I've mentioned that before, that I have an arterial blockage. There we go. And then there's all the stuff that's been going on, the kidneys and everything, and so that's going to be fun.
It's funny because, like, as you get older, the kidneys can fail, and so can the adult knees.
Yes. Oh my.
That is it. See, sometimes I have to wonder, like, the things I say that I think are funny usually get a from everyone here. But I do wonder if I was in front of a live studio audience, would those get groans or laughs, I wonder?
Probably
I think it's about a 50-50 on that, Kate. Yeah.
You might never have to go grocery shopping again.
What, because they'd be throwing rotten tomatoes at me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just picturing one of those shepherd crooks, yanking me off stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because for the longest time, I thought that was like a cane or an umbrella. Like one of those curved handles on a cane. I didn't realize it was a shepherd's crook for like the longest time.
Oh my.
I don't know, maybe because most of the time when I heard someone talk about shepherds, it was like in context to Baba Black Sheep or something.
Oh my, that
And
was
yeah, I heard the Good Shepherd and all that shit from time to time, but I was never raised religious, so it was always on the periphery. I'd hear someone say it in a movie or someone I knew who was religious say it, and it always weirded me out because I was like, shepherd? Really? What? It just made no sense to my not raised religious brain.
well. I'm trying to remember what the pilot
Uh-oh.
squadron in
Uh
China.
oh.
Yeah, we lost you for a second there. You like stopped.
Yeah, if you can repeat that.
Yeah.
Oh, did it break? Okay, I'm trying to remember the name of the pilot, the commander of the Black Sheep Squadron.
Yeah, I was just talking about the nursery rhyme.
Dayu Korostu.
Is like the whole shepherd thing. I really only think of it in context of actual shepherds, and then ever so rarely, because it's only been since nursery rhyme age that everyone really talked about shepherds outside of the context of, oh, by the way, if the Lord is your shepherd, that means you're a sheep to be slaughtered. That kind of that's like the only time I think of shepherd. Oh, and Sam Shepard, the actor. And Sybil Shepherd, the actress. Although these days I've heard everyone wants to be called just actor anymore.
Okay,
Like apparently actor is losing its gender connotations.
gotcha.
It's been for years.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
but
I mean,
you
that's
talk to some people, there's pushback. I don't know.
I think it depends on how old they are, mostly.
Mm.
Because older people, the older we get, the more we're stuck in whatever ways we want to be stuck in.
Yeah, I'll tell you all about that.
Yeah, me too. Let me tell you, that's why I'm single. I'm just sick of people trying to come in and disrupt my life the way I want it.
For me, I'd rather just not piss anyone off, so like I'm not sure what the protocol is. Do you want to be called an actor or an actress? Which is it? Tell me so I know what to say that you won't blast me for, because honestly I want to be polite and not rude, but you got to tell me which one it is. That's all I care about is not pissing anyone off inadvertently.
Yeah, absolutely. Intentionally and by accident are different.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I'm enjoying this new Quantum Leap series, and they did one on trans issues.
Well, there was a whole long, multiple episode subplot about that on the Orville.
Yeah, this one was the character leaped into the father of a transgender or teenager who was on the basketball team.
Well, I mean, in the original Quantum Leap, didn't Sam jump into women's bodies like frequently?
Yes.
Yeah, he did that. They even did some episodes, I think, dealing with issues with homophobia and racial issues. He was on the original Quantum Leap, if I remember correctly. So it was kind of along those lines. It did remind me of how how they handled those PSA episodes on those subjects back in the day.
Well, hell, I remember a Night Court episode where, like, Dan, the self-proclaimed ladies' man, Dan Fielding, is like, oh, my best buddy, my frat pal, my patrolling for women in bars guy is coming to visit, and then his friend shows up post-op. And Dan cannot handle it.
I also found out the writer of that episode was also trans, and they were
Really
drawing for a lot of their own personal experiences, and with the friends they had that were also trans, and they drew from those experiences. Apparently, the character, the trans girl who was a teenager, was actually based on a friend, and the writer had who ended up taking their own life, unfortunately.
Oh man!
But yeah, I remember that. I'm trying to think.
Another good reason to make sure that trans people can't get their surgeries, folks. There you go. Just lessen the population by SUIC. You know what? Yep, that's it. Jesus.
Oh, Jesus, not. But like, if they seriously want that kind of freaking genocide, let's remind them that you don't really reproduce much after they cut off those bits of you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, is like if it's maybe that's a way to get them to give up on that idea of genocide.
Well, that's
I
a
don't
good
know.
point. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
Although, though, there have been trans guys that have had babies pre-op.
True.
So they could have a baby with their partner that was theirs, and then they continued their transition. But that's not a very common thing. It's really rare.
I love
I don't know.
watching
Maybe
the
I'm
right
full of it
wing
or so.
lose their shit over that. Like they just cannot handle looking at a pregnant belly underneath a beard.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what? So the place I get my HRT through is online, and it's called Folks, Folx. And by the way, they're in a lot of states. So if there's anybody out there that can't afford doctor's visits, but can throw about $100 a month out, because of doctor's visits are more expensive than that, you get doctor's visits and labs done and everything for that, that money every month. But anyways, there's they have almost everybody that works for them is either trans or under the umbrella. Which is amazing. So everybody is very accepting. And there's this gentleman I think I would call him that, on the front page, who has makeup on and long, beautiful hair done up feminine, and has a beard. And I'm going to tell you, when I first saw it, I was like, well, that's kind of weird. Wow, he's beautiful. They're beautiful. Like a very beautiful person. I think either way they would be. But so it kind of shocked me because that's the first time I've ever really seen that, But then I thought, well, God, they pull it off so well.
I'll be honest, I think people are much more attractive without makeup, but that's just me.
I agree with that about 99.9% of the time. Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
I mean, like I was actually someone posted a meme on Facebook that was like, you cannot change how people think of you or how they perceive you. So blah, 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 blah. And I was like, actually, you kind of can. And I posted images of Lady Gaga out of costume. And I was like, totally different energy. And then I took the main character from the Princess Diaries with her before and after, where before she just looks like she kind of looks like me as a teenager, actually. Big poofy hair and glasses and shit. She's very, very nerdy. But then, there's the after where they figure out she's a princess and they give her the makeover and she looks like, your typical Barbie teenager kid.
Of course.
But I mean, the presentation 100% changes the perception. So if you really want to make someone think of you differently, get a makeover and they will. And it can go in either direction. They might think that you're some pansy wallflower and you go to somewhere and say, give me the tank girl treatment, and, wig them out that way by showing up as a post-apocalyptic warrioress. I mean, it can change how people perceive you. It just the visual superficially, which says something about people that's probably not flattering, but
it's the way we're wired, I guess.
I
don't know. I suppose there isn't much you can say about Homo sapiens that is flattering, but
well,
I'm not necessarily the biggest fan in the world of my species.
Yeah, right.
I can point to a few that are picturesque. That's a point in their favor.
I'm
just saying. So, a couple of days ago, I don't know why, but I got it into my head to watch a bunch of movies and stuff from the 90s, from when I was a teenager, and some of them are so freaking stupid. Like, have you ever seen Enemy of the State with Will Smith, Gene Hackman, and half the cast of Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Like, seriously, Seth Green is playing an NSA agent, and it's just crazy. Like 1990s Seth Green. And also next to him, Jack Black. sitting in the van with all the monitors and shit. Jack freaking Black and Seth Green are playing NSA agents. It's crazy pants. Oh, plus that one dude the one dude from Scream is in it too. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then they do this thing where they take like a security camera video from a store and somehow turn it into 3D imaging in the 90s. I'm like, this is such a stupid movie. And yet I remember liking it.
Sounds very over the top.
I will say that
Well,
Wayne's World kind of still holds up.
Our tastes do change with age and knowledge, and it's kind of like when you're a kid and you don't like expensive food, and then you get older and have a good steak and you appreciate it more.
Oh, I would have loved a good steak as a kid. It's all that weird fruity stuff my parents would always order at the frickin' health food bars. I'm like, ugh. I actually once saw my mom order a salad and an inchworm fell out of it. I saw that happen.
Well, it was real fresh, locally grown stuff, right?
Pay extra for it.
As a I hate calling myself an adult or a grown up because I don't feel like either. But at this age, my tastes have narrowed, if anything. Well, no, they've expanded in some ways, but I don't know. It's just like there are some things that I appreciate now later in life, but my tastes are still pretty similar to what they were as a kid.
Mine
I sort of know why, actually. Your taste buds do change as you get older. One of the reasons children hate to eat their vegetables is vegetables taste terrible to kids because kids are supposed to be eating fatty meat stuff according to our genes, our ancestors, the stuff that's left over from that. Children's bodies don't want vegetables. They just don't, right? So trying to force kids to eat veggies is actually a bad idea. You got to find a way to make the veggies palatable so the kids will eat them because they're not disgusting, and then you get older and all of a sudden those vegetables don't taste so bad anymore.
Yeah, it took until my mid-30s before I could stand the taste of coffee.
I only learned to like coffee because I was buying these like iced vanilla latte things in the Rockstar cans, and those were so good. And you know how much I love vanilla, and that was a gateway drug to the rest of the coffee world.
I've never tried those.
Well, they're discontinued now, but
bummer.
There's other companies. Like I know Starbucks makes them, and there's at least one other company. I think they put it next to like the Monster and Rockstar.
Oh, I've had Starbucks version. That's decent. I usually get the Frappuccinos though from Starbucks.
I mean, the vanilla Frappuccino ain't bad.
Yeah, the French vanilla that's usually the one I get.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the difference is in taste between vanilla and French vanilla. I really have no idea how they taste different.
Never really done.
Oh, I find French vanilla to be a little bit eggier, if you can appreciate that.
I cannot, but go on.
Yeah, I mean, there's extra egg in the French vanilla over the vanilla.
Oh, so the difference isn't the vanilla itself? The flavor of the vanilla doesn't change?
Not really, no.
Oh, well, then no wonder I can't taste the difference. I was trying to taste the wrong thing.
Yeah, it just becomes richer to my mouth.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. That helps
taste
me
the rainbow.
not feel so, because I'm a super taster. I should be able to taste the difference, but really it's a consistency issue, and I had no idea.
Okay. Yeah, there's a little bit extra flavor from the extra egg, but it's not an overwhelming thing. It's just subtle.
Okay. All right. I don't think it deserves the name French for that. I mean, even if French people do it like that, it's still not Frenchy enough to be French. It's just an egg.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I happen to like French vanilla over regular vanilla, but what I really like, and this is going to sound stupid, the $1.99 a gallon cheap vanilla ice cream that's all full of cornstarch. I love that stuff.
Hmm. You know what I really wanted and cannot find is something like vanilla fudge, where there's no chocolate products in it at all, like not even white chocolate. I don't know how that would be accomplished, but I would love to have it, or like a vanilla bar, the way we have a chocolate bar, like vanilla coating around nougat. I would
Yeah,
like
okay.
that. But
They used to have that. It was called a zero bar.
Yes,
Yeah.
I remember those.
I
They
don't.
were really
I like
good. It was only like white chocolatey kind of thing I liked.
Well, but
really,
see,
but
that's the thing is, I'm talking no white chocolate, none. It's the
yeah,
no
but it was
chocolate
weird.
product.
It had like a vanilla flavoring to it. It wasn't
Hmm.
like white chocolate though.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
because
knew
I've
Do they still make
seen
those?
like is fudge always chocolate? Like, is there always chocolate in a fudge? Because I've seen, like orange fudge, creamsicle fudge, things like that, where I'm like, okay, I get that you can add flavoring to chocolate, but what is fudge when it's not chocolate fudge?
I
The
believe.
zero bars still do exist.
Huh.
I
I'll have to find
believe.
one.
I believe that fudge is a method of processing sugar.
That's
Okay,
what they look like.
cool. Well, I know I've seen them on the shelf, although I think that was back where the label was all white, not that grayish color. But well, if I find one again, I'll give it a try.
It says caramel peanut almond nougat,
Huh.
and that's what's on the inside. It's really good. I mean, it is. It's like
And
it'll hurt your teeth though if you got a sweet tooth.
The
Well, when I
idea
couldn't
of
have
those,
chocolate because of the seizures, I was getting a lot of payday bars because it's like all peanut butter and caramel and shit.
Yep.
and the idea of those zero bars, or at least when I was a kid, was to put them in the freezer. I guess that's how they were given the name zero, that they were that cold. Then you were to freeze the bars and then eat them that way.
I've tried freezing like Milky Way bars and stuff, and they come out like you can't even bite them. They're solid through and through,
Yes, absolutely.
which makes me wonder about a zero bar. Can you bite into one when it's frozen?
I don't remember.
Hmm.
I wish I could remember.
Maybe I'll buy two, one to eat at room temperature, one to freeze.
Why
Yeah,
don't you
'cause I
guys
mean-
do this? Just a crazy idea. Why
Uh-huh.
don't you slice it first and then freeze it? And then you have little slices of frozen that you can actually chew.
That's an
That's
idea.
an idea.
And you know what I've been meaning to try to do because I've never done it is to freeze grapes.
Oh, that's great. I love that.
Oh my god! In the hot summer, that is the best
Yeah.
effing thing in the world is a frozen grape. Oh yeah, it's cold, it's refreshing, it's sweet. It'll give you a little sugar boost at the same time as cooling you off in the summertime. Yeah, we used to do it all the time.
Yeah, and to
as
fuck
kids.
with people's heads, what I used to do was stick a toothpick in the grape and then freeze it. Grapesicles.
Yes, mini grapesicles. I love it.
I kind of want to do
Diana,
that
you would.
thing that in that one meme where you go somewhere where people are exercising and instead of a regular old water bottle, you have like a Hershey's syrup bottle with water in it, and just chug off of it. Directly,
That's
Oh,
hilarious.
It's kind of like you're pregnant, you go to a wine bar and order like cranberry juice in a wine glass and just freak people out, making it look like you're drinking wine while you're visibly pregnant, that kind of thing.
It's about as good
Oh, you guys are
as my aunt
crazy.
when she was about 8 months pregnant and she dressed as a nun for Halloween.
Nah. Yeah.
A pregnant nun.
Yeah.
That's great.
Mhm.
oh,
Yeah,
it's not
my
unheard of.
Catholic grandmother was so proud that year.
Well, that's about as suspicious as a nun doing squats in a cucumber patch. I don't know. Did I just break
Kate.
that sprain?
Kate,
Yeah.
cucumbers don't grow up in the air.
It's still an old trope. Come on. Let people enjoy
Kind
things.
of like dangle down.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Anyway, still. like a nun on a bicycle with no seat.
Oh my! I hope I make it to summer. That'd be some nice stuff to do.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to summer myself, but mostly because of this weather. Actually, it would be nice to go swimming again. It was really great when I went this past summer. It's part of why I'm playing so much Beat Saber, actually, get in shape for swimsuit season, you know?
Oh my!
Yeah.
It's so weird that somebody on this panel cares about that.
Why? Why is that weird?
Because
I mean,
Paige and Diana and I are like, whatever. And you're like, I need to get ready for swimsuit season.
hey, my only real goal is so that my stomach sticks out less than my tits. That's all I care about.
Oh man, if I was going for that pre-surgery, I'd have to like really work hard for about 6 months to, that's the problem I have. I can go to the gym and work out, and I went to the gym for months and months, and then took a break, and then went to the gym for months and months. Like my arms are nice, my shoulders are great, I'm very strong everywhere, my legs are strong, I'm muscly. I can't get rid of my gut no matter what I do. It just won't go away. It just the fat around my belly. Well, see what happened was when I started taking tea. All the fat from my hips, because your fat redistributes, it's gone. I have no fat on the side of my hips anymore. My hips are like literally like 5 inches less wide now. But I have a bigger gut. That's where it went. It went up into my love handles and shit. So now I'm just, I just can't get rid of it.
That is the hardest part. That is the hardest part to get rid of with a guy.
Yeah, well, I haven't been able to get rid of it since, my God, I put this on when I was driving truck, and I lost all that weight, and it's always been there. It's been a little bit bigger and a little bit smaller, but it just won't go away. So I'm just fucked.
Well, one of the things, like, I've been bumping up my level of Beat Saber lately, and I just started playing the expert version of Eye of the Tiger, of all things, and it has a lot of ducking involved, right? Which sort of forces squats on a person, and boy, howdy, will that get you winded.
Right.
It's like I finished half of that level before I got royally befucked and lost, and I was so winded. I mean, so winded. You have no idea. So, I think that level, and also it worked the glutes hardcore. So, I figure that level all by itself will be a heck of a workout. Diana's shaking her head for some reason.
Well, it probably
just
helped
thinking
if I didn't sit here now all the time and never exercise. But
Mm.
honestly, I haven't gained or lost any weight, so I've been sitting here since October.
Mm.
So fuck it. Of course, I eat less because I'm not as active. So
I'm not doing too bad as far as the weight is concerned. It's just the degree of weight on me that is fluid.
Oh yeah, I bet. I went through that with my sister, Lady. I know, but hers was from cancer. But man, she was just so full of fluid. Her legs and everything were just, her skin was maxed out. Like it couldn't stretch.
Danger of congestive heart failure.
No, actually, she drowned. That's what killed her. The fluid built up in her body so much they put a stent in. They put it in way too late, and her lungs were surrounded by fluid in her abdomen. She couldn't breathe anymore.
Okay, then.
That's what did it to her. Yeah, but it was, I mean, really bad. Like she was a very tiny, like thin, in shape, beautiful body type person, and her body was swelled up. She went from like a size, I don't know, 6 or something, whatever you women use those. I don't know how those sizes work. But then she went up to a 12 or 14.
And you said this was from cancer?
fluid buildup from cancer. Yeah, from all the treatments and everything, and it just couldn't leave. It wouldn't leave her body. Her body wasn't pushing it out, so they put a shunt in to shunt it into into her system so she could just flush it out. But it was way too late. So
Cancer of the what?
Abdominal carcinoid.
Gotcha.
Yep. On the liver, on the stomach, and bottom lower liver removed, and edge of the stomach removed, and over 4 foot of intestine. Trying to stop it.
Damn.
Yeah. So anyway, so yeah. That's well, you know what the craziest thing about the whole thing was? While she was at the end of her battle of cancer the last 2 years, her ex-husband, her son's father, came down with Lou Gehrig's. And he started showing symptoms right after his father died. So everybody was like, oh, he's acting really weird, because him and his father were very, very close. And he did snap a little bit during that time, but it was because of Lou Gehrig's. So then they realized that later that he had Lou Gehrig's, and he got to the point where he had like an aide in the house with him, and then the guy would take him everywhere and be with him in case something happened, and his mind was, he lost his buffer. So like during my sister's funeral, he was like, hey, and he hadn't spoke to me because he didn't remember who I was, but he was like, hey, B. And I was like, hey, Pete, what's up? And he's like, this is fucking bullshit. I said, I know, man. He said, why the fuck did she have to? Because everywhere else, people don't say these things when you're gathering for memorials, he was just going off. He's just saying whatever was on his mind. And he goes, this is fucking bullshit. Why'd she have to die? This is bull. I'm going home. And he just walked away from me. And I was like, okay, well, he's going home now. He's fed up with the situation. But anyways, the fucked up part was he died 3 weeks later. His diaphragm quit working. So they both suffocated within 3 weeks of each other. And those boys lost both their parents. That's the fucked up part.
Damn.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
So I kind of get the whole losing your buffer thing. I mean, let's face it, my brain's been through a cheese grater. And there are times where it's really hard to not say what's on my mind. And, coupled with autism, it's like Sophia on Golden Girls, where like I didn't realize that she was quite so snarky because of a medical condition. I thought it was just how she was. But then I watched the first episode. I was like, oh, she had like a stroke or something that took out her filter. And then I remembered that I had a stroke that caused the seizures. And I was like, yeah, okay, I can see this. I get it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's okay. I'm pretty convinced at this point that I have mild autism. I think that's one of my problems.
Well,
and
actually, I was going to say,
misdiagnosed all these years for it.
One of the things that I've really, like, now that I know it's okay to stim, actually rocking back and forth in my chair, they say that's pretty good for you, actually, like just for your metabolism to keep active even while you're sitting on your butt. And so, I'm sitting here just rocking back and forth. It feels good. It's probably healthy. Getting diagnosed with autism was actually a very good thing for me. It opened a lot of, it was freeing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, stimming can burn calories.
Yeah.
Well, I have to wait till April to see. There's an organization here that helps people with like drug problems. You have mental, health issues, whatever. And it's basically an organization that's open to everybody, but they mainly concentrate. Their original thing was to help people get off drugs and get them like a job and a place to stay and all that stuff. So now they just help everybody, and they have like psychologists and everything that they contract with. And this is all like donated money from the area that pays for all this. So nice thing about living in a really rich area is when people donate money, let me just say. Anyway, so I go through them and it doesn't cost me a dime for anything. And they've been helping me with my disability paperwork. We've been like going over it and putting all the right words in and making sure everything's there that they want, and, doing it, dotting all the I's, crossing all the T's. But also they have I'm going to go see a psychologist in April to talk about some diagnoses or psychiatrist, whatever, which one that is that does that. I don't know. Psychologist? Is that who does the diagnoses? Or is it either one?
Yes, the autism. Yeah, it's not a psychiatrist. It's definitely a psychologist.
The psychiatrist is an MD. The psychologist is a PhD.
Yeah, I get those mixed up all the time, too.
The psychologist does the diagnosis as Susie's.
Yeah, and the psychiatrist deals with it on the other end and gives the medication, right?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
that
Okay, that's what I
and
thought.
like they're the ones that you bitch about your mother to while lying on a couch.
I have a therapist for that. He's amazing.
Mm.
I won't see anybody else. I'm totally good. They offered that too, and I was like, nope. Now that I have insurance, he pro bonoed me for a few months, and then he's like, I can't do it anymore. And I said, that's fine. I'm gonna, I'm working on getting Medicaid, and I got Medicaid, so now I get to see him again. So worked out good. But yeah, since I talked to you guys last, I realized my whole PTSD thing changed. It wasn't from my mom's car accident. Isn't that great? Yeah, it was from my brother beating me up for 7 years of my life and torturing me and telling me I was a piece of shit and not good enough and you can't do that and you can't do this. And so he basically mentally defeated me before I was even fucking like 12 years old.
I sometimes wonder if the anxiety disorder I have is actually a form of PTSD that's been misdiagnosed.
I know.
Well, that goes kind of hand in hand with PTSD. So that would be a hard line to draw. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know
that's just,
that
anxiety is just part of it.
I know my fear of dogs is PTSD. For sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But there's a few others too. It's hard to explain.
Well, see, my thing is, I'm never smart enough. I'm never good enough. I can't do it. I'm worthless. I'm stupid. I'm ugly. That's all for my brother. All of it. And I figured out why too. Because he was, when I came around, my dad, because see, I grew up thinking my dad ignored me. And my brother told me, well, when you were little, you were always on dad's lap. If we were watching TV, you were sitting on dad's lap watching TV. And I said, so was I so maybe that's why I never saw him. I was sitting on his lap all the time. I didn't realize that, right? So then it made me think, and I was like, did Keel ever act jealous of me? And he was like, well, yeah, a little bit, I'm like thinking, that's what it is. He wanted to be daddy's little boy, and he had 2 kids after him. And then when I came along, blue eyes, blonde hair, dad was like, oh, look at my little girl. And he got jealous. And that's why he beat the shit out of me for years. That and I was an easy victim because I was half his size. So now here I am fucked up. I did nothing with my life because I felt like I wasn't good enough and wasn't smart enough and I couldn't do it. And here I am at fucking 51 years old just finding all this out of why I have done nothing great with my life because I feel like I've never deserved it. I can't do it. I'm stupid. Why bother trying, right? God, I hate him right now.
Yeah, maybe it's for the best. I was an only child.
I disowned him, Kate. I disowned him back in 2016. And then I find all this out because I knew he was toxic otherwise. He was toxic, as an adult too. So I disowned him and told everybody, he's your brother. He's not mine anymore. I want nothing to do with him. And if he's at a family reunion, just let me know and I won't go. That's that. I'm just not.
Yeah.
They're like, but he's blood. And I said, look, I have people that are not blood that are way more like family to me and who actually treat me with love and respect. And he doesn't do that. So fuck him. I'm picking my family.
I've got an uncle I've basically disowned. Let's put it this way. This is the uncle who once said that he is more oppressed than a black man because the black guy can use the N slur and he can't.
Yeah, apparently I had an uncle who was a piece of work as well. I never met the guy, but he was my father's his brother. And I remember after watching The Lion King, we were coming out of The Lion King. It was yeah, Scar. That's what your Uncle Bruce is like.
He's psychotic and narcissistic. Anyways, our dying son. I have never seen you over here. I've only seen you over at my brother's. So hello.
I'm not sure I know that name, or if I do, it's like just not there because there's a big old haze of pot fumes in my head.
I don't remember the last time seeing you. I'm sorry. You've got a wrench, so I gave it to you. But
At some point,
yeah.
Did you change your name? Do we have a name change going on? Because you seem like no one knows me, and that's okay. Oh, okay. All right. Touche. Well, anyways, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that. I think you do not know me very well, but I appreciate it.
Oh, what is that?
Long-time
Long-time
listener.
listener, first-time caller?
Yeah, right. Edward. Oh, I do know
Huh.
you. I don't know how to say that last name. Chiriac. Yeah, I do know. I mean, I don't know you, but I do. I kind of know who you are now. Yeah.
I don't know. I've just got my head in my head right now. Our dying sun, won't you come and wash away whatever. You know that song, Black Hole Sun?
Yeah, I know.
Black
Yeah.
hole sun, won't you come?
Yeah, that. That's just going through my head now. It's kind of like I say, we have been playing a lot of Beat Saber. They came out with a music pack that has Smells Like Teen Spirit in it. And my goodness, did that earworm on me really hardcore. Like I couldn't get it out of my head for days. Of course, I also know the Weird Al lyrics so much better, so those go through my head rather than the actual lyrics. There's a few songs like that.
Song. What did
What?
he name it? I didn't know
Smells
Weird Al
Like
did.
Nirvana. He named it Smells Like Nirvana.
Oh, you switched to the other. Okay, yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
One. Okay.
I've had the song "Enemy" stuck in my head from Imagine Dragons.
That sounds familiar. I think a friend of mine played that a lot.
It was from the show Arcane,
No,
League of
no, I
Legends
don't know.
from Netflix.
Which song was it?
Enemy.
Enemy.
Mm.
See, I'm
Is it-
horrible. I don't know names of songs, or
Yeah, it was
half
a
the
theme.
time I don't
it
know
was a-
the name of the group.
Yeah, it was a theme song to the show Arcane.
Never watched it. Let me see here. Let me type in enemy
show.
in my MP3. Oh, you know what? I think I'm thinking of Your Own Worst Enemy by They Might Be Giants.
No, this is from Imagine Dragon.
No, I know. I'm just saying is like my brain insisted I knew a song with enemy in the title, but I couldn't. Oh, well. Yeah. I never understood why Smells Like Teen Spirit was so popular. Like it's not a good song by any measure, and yet somehow my generation was like typified by it or symbolized. I don't get it. I don't.
I think it was
never
just the
did.
sound of the music. Honestly, there was something about the music itself. I don't think it had anything to do with the words.
Mm. Well,
lot
until now, I didn't even look up the lyrics, and now that I have, I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, like seriously, when he says a mulatto and albino, it does not sound like that.
What's it sound like?
I don't know. It sounds like or something. I seriously cannot.
Yes, I know
get
that
words.
part. Now that you sang it that way, I don't know what he's saying there.
Yeah,
everybody just goes, and then he
it's
starts
a
singing again.
mulatto and albino. That's those are the lyrics. Seriously, and I'm like, number one, that's not very politically correct. I don't really care, but it isn't. Someone's gonna bitch about that. But number
That's fucked
two,
up.
what does that mean? Why is he singing those words? Like reading the lyrics, there seems to be no context whatsoever. And Diana's asleep.
Boo.
No, she isn't. She's just perpetrating a fraud.
I'm just saying, though.
Frauditrating a perp.
Who's the perp, and why would you want to frauditrate him?
I don't know. I'm working on that.
What'd he ever do to you? Well, he is a perp. So
Does anybody have to do something to me?
Yeah, nonsense lyrics is
Not
kind of the issue I
necessarily.
have with Nickelback.
I tried to listen to Nickelback and couldn't do it. I went through a phase of like, okay, let me listen to the bands that people just universally hate that I've never actually given a chance. And I listened to like 3 Nickelback songs and just said, nope, 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 nope. I understand why people hate these guys. No.
If everybody hates them, how do they get on the top 40 lists? I don't get
I
that.
don't know. Sure, I guess there's people out there who like them, but for the most part, like when I gave One Direction a try, it was against the whole like. I mean, everyone says, "Oh yeah, manufactured pop boy band, they're gonna suck just by definition." And to be honest, 80% of their music is garbage, but I love the other 20%. I've said that many times.
They do
And
have.
so-
I've stuck with the 10, but I agree they have about 10 to 20. Good.
But
Yeah.
I went through a phase of trying bands that I'd been told suck, and I just really never gave them a try. And for the most part, it was earned, but there's a few where I'm like, oh, these guys aren't that bad. So, I don't know.
I don't know.
Not really any that I became a fan of exactly, but I've warmed up to like 1 or 2 Green Day songs, you know. Again, because of Beat Saber. They came out with a Green Day pack, and I bought it just because it wasn't, you know, electronic dance music. And let's see, what is it? American Idiot and Minority have become songs I really enjoy. Even after I started listening to the lyrics, I just like the way they sound.
Yeah.
Lyrically, they're kind of, it seems like there's an agenda, and I agree with the agenda, but I prefer my music to just be fun.
Well, like our dying son said, the good music is not on the radio.
Oh, well, speaking of which, I suddenly realized I actually do like Prince. I just hate everything that got onto the radio. Like,
Oh, well,
seriously,
yeah.
I enjoy all of the music that well, not all of it, but you know what I mean. And
Most of
I
it,
found
yeah.
out that he wrote a bunch of songs that went to other artists to record, and I love those songs too.
Isn't it?
So I'm
He
like,
was amazing. You guys have no idea. He wrote so many songs for other artists. It will blow your mind if you look up songs written by Prince. Just look that up. And the amount of artists that have done songs written by him, it'll blow your mind.
but I could go the rest of my life and die happy, never again hearing When Doves Cry.
Yeah.
Hate that song with
Well,
the
but
white
that's
hot
because it's
burning of the
overdone. You know,
Well-
when it first came out, Kate, that was an amazing song for the time. The sound he had, the way he entertained was
But that's
absolutely groundbreaking. But then they just take every good song and they just pound it into the dirt on the radio. And
That's
then
not why I didn't like it.
But then eventually you just get sick of hearing those fucking same songs over and over again.
Well,
you know?
and I understand that's why people really hate We Built This City. I still love it. But
I love that
no,
song.
the reason I don't like When Doves Cry is because it's a very dreary, unhappy minor key song. That's why I don't like it.
That's what it's supposed to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty melancholy. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't like music like that. There's like a few songs that are exceptions, but for the most part, if the music is unhappy, like Kate's not happy, and I don't listen to it. So
yeah, I tend not to bury myself in sad songs. It's not good for my mental health in general.
That can be a real kick in the nuts.
But
yeah, really.
It turns out that I do, in fact, like Prince. I had no idea. I never bought his albums because I couldn't stand what was on the radio. It was kind of like, okay, what's that one? Is it Natalie Imbruglia or whatever the fuck that did that like Torn song or whatever? Like she did a very unpleasant, unhappy, boy, howdy do I hate this song. But then I heard another song she did. I think it's called Dreams. And I'm like, holy shit, this is Kate music. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I'm
Black
like,
and white, right?
It's just what you gonna do, you know? The song I heard first that got way overplayed is exactly the kind of music I go to great lengths to avoid. But then it turns out she makes a lot of music I totally dig. What you gonna do?
What trekke?
Yeah, what she said. I think sad songs are more honest than happy ones. Oh no, I agree. I'm not saying they're dishonest. They're just sad because they're fucking correct and real.
Well, that's the thing, though. Is like, well, hell, that's not entirely true, because I will point this out, and I've noticed this is that the more religious a Christmas song is, no matter how much it's claiming to be joyful, the more it'll sound like a funeral dirge. The more it's secular and about Santa Claus and presents, the more likely that song is to be upbeat and happy. Right? So it doesn't matter what the words are. It matters how they're played and sung. I mean, there are like things on the videos on YouTube where they take songs and play them in a major or minor key where before they weren't. And Smells Like Teen Spirit in a major key is actually really good. Sweet Dreams Are Made of This, whatever, by the Eurythmics in a major key is really good in a major key. And it doesn't make me want to slice my wrists in a major key, right? So there's a lot of music out there where it's good if you play it differently. So it's not what the lyrics are, it's how the song sounds.
Yeah, I heard this one song. It was actually from Mariah Carey, Hero. And there's another singer on YouTube who took that song and redid it in more of like a rock song style, and it sounded sort of like the beat sounds sort of like what you'd hear from the Neverending Story theme.
Oh, nice.
And it actually sounded a lot better, I think.
Well, it turns out that Bop by Hanson was never meant to be a fast, upbeat pop song. It was meant to be like an unhappy ballad. And if you listen to the lyrics, you can understand why. But apparently the producers said, no, this is your breakaway pop hit. And they were right, but that wasn't the intention of the Hanson brothers.
Huh.
Yeah, in fact, there are live performances of them now as adults playing it the way they intended, and it kind of is a tearjerker.
Yeah. You know, I just recently started listening to the radio again, like about a week and a half ago. I have not listened to the radio since October because so many of the songs that were on there were connected to my effing ex. And I still have to change the station sometimes, but because we used to sing and dance together all the time at her house. So like every other fucking song I've danced, that we liked, either one of us, it's just, I hate it. Like she ruined so many good songs for me. Hello, Aunt Jer. And why do we have the best Christmas song?
Because I was talking about Christmas songs and which ones are happy and which ones aren't. Yeah,
a lot of them are psycho, to be honest.
Well, I mean, Grandma got run over by a reindeer. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, but that's a parody, though.
I know.
I mean, the real Christmas songs, there's some of them that are just...
Carol of the Bells sounds to me like there's a mass murderer around somewhere, Santa Claus with a bloody axe. Dun, 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 dun. It sounds like a fucking Tim Burton movie. It's like,
oh my God, somebody should make a Tim Burton movie with that.
Actually, I think he started one that way. Didn't he?
Did he?
I don't know. I don't know.
And then there was the whole thing with my friend, and their after my girlfriend in high school died of cancer, and so he decided to play A Last Kiss from Pearl Jam.
I don't know it. I don't listen to Pearl Jam.
I don't know what song that is.
You don't know that one? Yeah.
No.
You'd have to give us a chord or something for me to know. I'm horrible with song names.
It's basically a song about this guy who gets in a car accident and his girlfriend dies.
Well, actually, there's a song by Bare Naked Ladies. And it's like it's called "Tonight Is the Night I Fell Asleep at the Wheel." Right? And it starts with this guy, he's driving, he's tired, and it's clear he's thinking like about other things. And so he's sort of singing the song to his significant other, saying, yeah, you're the last thing. You were the last thing on my mind, and then he gets into this big accident, and the whole song is describing like the fire trucks and the ambulance and his own blood gushing out as he's slowly dying. And then he goes, and you're the last thing on my mind, is how the song ends, is singing that several times. You're the last thing on my mind as he's slowly dying. So it starts out as this, like, almost a fuck you, then comes down to you're the only thing I give a damn about as I die. It's actually a fun song if you listen to it, but then when you start letting the lyrics percolate through, you're like, oh,
I put that link into the private chat for you, Kate, because Jer said you should check that song out.
Oh, okay. I wonder what song it be.
I do not know.
Oh, God. Okay. It's Imperial March and Carol of the Bells together. I'm going to have to give that a listen when it won't be a copyright issue.
Yeah, no, don't do it now. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's like I Hope You Die by Molly Nilsson.
Oh.
Nelson?
Or if
Well,
you do
I
listen,
mean, Weird Al's got a few songs like that. I mean, Wish You Were Gone. You know that one? Or
Wish You Were
one
Gone.
More minute. It's like 1 More Minute is the one where he's explaining about all the things that he'd rather have happen to him than spend 1 more minute with you. Yes, I'd rather jump naked on a huge pile of thumbtacks or have my nostrils together with crazy glue. Like that is
Anything but be together with you.
I'd rather dive into a swimming pool filled with double-edged razor blades than spend 1 more minute with you. That.
That's great.
Yeah, I mean, although I still say that the best song for this, and I prefer the pop punk cover by Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, has to be Goodbye Earl. Because it's about two friends. They grew up in the same town, and one leaves and one marries a complete rat bastard, right?
Yep.
Who beats the crap out of her when she tries to get a divorce. And
Yep.
so the friend comes, they plot to kill the guy, they kill him, and then nobody gives a fuck.
Because he was such an asshole, they didn't even try to investigate it.
Right.
Nobody cared.
It's like one of the lines is something like the police came by to like something, and they ask, did you see Earl? And they go, nope. And they're like, okay, fine. And they walk away, and that's it. No one questions it.
You seen Earl? Nope. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. It's actually, it starts out like this completely horrible song about domestic abuse and has the happiest goddamn ending. It's like the reverse of Thelma and Louise is what it is. It's backward Thelma and Louise.
Yeah, it is. It's a great song.
What was the song called again?
It's called Goodbye Earl.
Goodbye,
it's by
Earl.
the Dixie
Earl.
Chicks,
Okay.
but I prefer the pop punk cover by Me First and the Gimme Gimmes.
Oh, I didn't
Just
know
because
they
I prefer
redid
pop
it.
punk to country. I'm just saying. It's got nothing to do with the Dixie Chicks. It's just got to do with the way they sing their music.
I didn't know that someone redid it, but
well, Me First and the Gimme Gimmes is a pop punk cover band. Every song they do is a cover, and they put out an album of country songs. There's others on that. I would have to look it up right now because my brain doesn't work.
Sometime.
But they seriously, all of their albums have a theme. It's like, oh yeah, we're doing songs from this era or in this style, but in pop punk now. So
right,
yeah.
Apparently, they're no longer called the Dixie Chicks. They're just the Chicks.
Yeah,
they took the Dixie out,
like because the
racism.
connections to racism and all that. They decided not to. Yeah. I mean, hell, a lot of people already didn't like them because they were not quite like psycho enough for them.
They were not. Yeah, they were. Some people were like dogging them out and shit for some of the stuff they were doing. But
I mean,
people also have to remember 9 times out of 10, the band has a contract. Well, they do. They always have a contract. But 9 times out of 10, it's the person in charge of them, their managers, telling them what to do and what songs to do and stuff. People that have contracts have very little power over what they do, to be honest.
So I forget, like, wasn't there a thing where they took a stand on something and it lost them like 1,000 fans? I forget what it was.
Oh, I can't remember what that was. Shit.
Let me see here.
I can't think of what it was right now. They said something when they were in some.
Let's see. So there's got to be some sort of controversy thing here. Where is it? Oh, they made comments about the Iraq War. That was it. Okay. Like they came out against the war or something? Yep. One of them said they don't support the imminent Allied invasion of Iraq and were ashamed that President George W. Bush was from Texas. And that did not go over well. Yeah, it says here they were blacklisted by
because there's
thousands
so
of
many
country radio
patriots.
stations, and the band members received death threats. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, that happened. Yep,
You know?
that's right.
Though in
I
retrospect,
know there was something, I just couldn't remember what it was.
in retrospect, they were kind of right, though.
They were totally right.
Well, they were right. Nobody wanted to hear it, though, because the reason people were not Americans.
Uh-oh, robot.
Yeah, you were roboting pretty hard there.
And like dogged our country.
Sort of still are, I guess.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. So, Beck, you roboted pretty hard there.
Yeah, we just had this whole
I killed my camera to see if that helps.
Yeah, that worked. That helps.
Seems
yeah.
to. But no, it's like what's weird is quoting conservatives to conservatives who had no idea that the people they're supporting said it. Like I had to quote to somebody the George H.W. Bush quote about trying to make America less like the Simpsons and more like the Waltons. Like these like conservatives I was arguing with had no idea what I was talking about when I said Marjorie Taylor Greene is what an America raised on Bart Simpson looks like, trying to tweak them with their own guy's quote. And none of them knew what I was talking. Not one of them had heard that quote from, the father of one of their heroes. The whole ketchup is a vegetable thing that happened during Reagan, none of them knew about that either. I'm just saying. Are you guys still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I just all of a sudden seemed like I was talking to myself, and I was wondering if I'd lost my connection. I guess I was just being boring.
Paranoid.
Xander's giving me that look, that kitty look of I want something, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. Do you want lap sits or kitty treats? Or pettings? What do you want there, Xander?
Yes.
Well, I've got a new policy. When I'm throwing kitty treats to the kitties, if Xander eats one that was meant for Columbia, it's over. I give Columbia 2 and then close the bag.
Let's see if I got any more questions that came in. Jenny Morgan wants to do this thing where she has a panel of people who are trans together and do deep dives on questions, and I threw out some things to try and get questions from people.
Who wanted to?
Jenny Morgan.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure what I heard, but I thought it was. I know what it was. I thought I heard Jane Seymour. So I was a little confused. I don't know why I thought I was hearing Jane Seymour. I mean, Jenny Morgan doesn't sound. I mean, the J part, but other than that, I don't know. Also, it just seemed really incongruous. I mean, she doesn't seem like the biggest advocate of anything, Jane Seymour, but what do I know? Anyway. It's like I saw a meme recently that said if there's ever a protracted silence and you don't really know what to say next, you just turn your head to the side and go, line, or nudge someone near you and go, it's your line. It's your line. You're supposed to be. Anyway, I don't know. Because it does sort of seem like we're out of shit to say. But, well, I don't exactly want to live forever necessarily, but I do want to live a hell of a lot longer than I probably will, because there's a lot of things I want to do and I'm not going to get the chance.
And looks like I got people bitching about how I phrased. He's asking them to give me questions. There's the internet for you.
How did you phrase it and why don't they like it?
I said, if you could ask somebody who's gender one serious question, what would it be?
And what was the problem with that?
I'm apparently objectifying the very group I'm referring to.
Objectifying by having a Q&A. Okie dokie. I'm just going to say that's a little loopy. I mean, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, trying to promote understanding is definitely not whateverist, is it?
Who knows?
I mean, okay, tell me about yourselves should never be taken as an attack. Unless it is where you've been arguing with somebody and it's pretty clear they're doing it just to, get out of the hot seat themselves. But I mean, if someone genuinely wants to know, I'm just saying.
Okay. I'm not being distracted anymore. I'm back.
Well,
okay, I think I see what I mistyped the question here. That's probably why they're bitching about. I didn't say is. I said was.
Oh.
I mistyped the question.
Now, it's not that I'm the kind of person who can't stand a moment of silence in a conversation, but a protracted silence does start to get uncomfortable. And we are on the air just a little bit. So, I mean, a lot of dead air can lose us viewers and, well...
People are reviewing us?
We don't want dead air, do we?
No.
Let's start doing something fun. I don't know.
Well, Okay,
So,
never
Kate,
have I ever... No.
Kate, I just wanted to say I haven't talked to you in a long time and just wanted to see how you're doing in Vermont. Is everything good?
Yes and no. I mean, it's very cold out there. And so that's making going out something I'm not doing a lot, which means it's difficult to build a social circle, because
that'll come in the spring.
Yeah. But I am getting a bit of cabin fever. Otherwise, I'm really glad I'm here. It's familiar surroundings. It's nice. It's calm. It's not like San Diego was. I felt sort of oppressed in San Diego. Like there was just too much going on. It was a city like it wasn't a city the way Seattle's a city. Seattle's pretty chill, or at least was when I was living there. San Diego, not so much. I don't know. I'm doing well in Vermont. I am. And, I'm not living out in the screaming wilderness, so that's good.
Yeah,
I live near a bike path that's pretty long, pretty nice, fairly well maintained. Not the best for blading, but you can do it.
Okay. Well, I didn't even know you were a blader. I thought you were a biker.
Oh no, I'm only newly a biker. I've always been a blader. I mean, since the early to mid 90s, I've been a blader. I used to do like on the Burke Gilman Trail in Seattle. It was round trip about 23 miles. It was only about 18 or 19 on the Silver Strand in San Diego, unfortunately.
I tried rollerblading, but unfortunately, I just don't have the the coordination for it.
Well, you know that comes with time, right?
No, I've had 2 strokes. I don't have the
Oh,
coordination
well.
for it.
Oh my God, Mage, 2?
Yeah,
I didn't even know you had a stroke at all.
I had one at
Well,
birth, and I had another one when I was 11.
well,
Oh,
that beats my
shit.
one.
Yeah. Jesus, man. Fuck.
I don't know. I mean, like I thought everyone knew about the rollerblading I did in the Fremont Solstice Parade in Seattle. You know,
I
the
did
one
not
where
know.
like I was wearing rollerblades and body paint, and that's it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do remember you telling me. Well, it doesn't mean you blade all the time. Just because you did it that once that I know of.
Well, I did it more like 7 or 8 times, but sure.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I knew of once. Yeah.
No, actually, part of why I was a blader was because I didn't own a bicycle, but the main reason was because honestly, sitting on a bicycle seat naked just sounds uncomfy.
Is it hot or cool out?
I was
I
thinking
think
more
if it
about.
was hot, you would just slide off after a minute.
I was thinking a little bit more about the shape of the seat, but very well.
Yes, that would be a problem as well. I would agree with that. Yes.
You know, it's
Now,
just
unless you want to have one of those old, wide, like grandma seats they used to make back in the day with the springs on it, you'd probably be okay.
yeah,
But a real bicycle, like racer seat, I don't think that would be a good idea.
yeah. So I'm just gonna stick with my blades.
Blading. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's a good idea. I think that's a good idea for that. I just
Are
got
there
some really fucked up pictures in my head of what could happen. Never mind.
are there many vampires in Vermont? I'm gonna say we have more werewolves than vampires.
Nice. Yeah.
You
It
know.
is chilly up there. Yeah, it is pretty cold.
Yeah. I mean, granted,
Vampires like
probably
Louisiana
don't.
and Florida better.
Hey, have you ever seen the movie Near Dark, directed by Catherine Bigelow, and it's got half the cast of Aliens in it?
Nope. Never heard of it.
It's actually like, okay, the word vampire is never said through the whole movie, but it is a pack of redneck vampires just rampaging through the South. It's interesting.
So wait a minute. Redneck Southern vampires.
Yes.
That is hilarious.
It's actually a really well built movie. It's one of the best vampire flicks I've ever seen.
Really?
Yes.
What's it called again?
Near Dark.
Near Dark.
Yeah, it's got Lance Henriksen and Jeanette Goldstein and Bill Paxton, Adrian Pasdar, I believe.
Sounds like a good lineup.
It's
I don't
a
even know who
really
that last one
well-built
is.
movie. It's very good. And it's a hell of a lot grittier than I usually like my movies, but it's damn good. It's a very good take on the vampire genre.
Is it on any good streaming services? Amazon, Hulu?
I
Prime?
haven't looked because I have it on disc.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that I've like, I have it on disc and I watched it recently. Red Heat with Arnold Schwarzenegger and James Belushi, right? It's one of those sort of mismatched buddy cop flicks where Arnold is playing like a KGB agent, sort of at the very end of the Cold War, and he has to team up with Chicago cop Jim Belushi to like catch a Russian terrorist or something, and it's one of the silliest movies I've ever seen.
Jesus.
Well, I mean, because I remember what it was like at the tail end of the Cold War. I was sort of in elementary and middle school at the time. And I mean, I remember that movie Ruskies that came out with like Peter Billingsley and now Joaquin, but at the time Leaf Phoenix. And Whip Hubley from Top Gun plays a Russian submarine guy who gets stranded off the coast of the United States, and these total like gun nut army mad kids end up becoming his friend. It's a very silly premise. It's not a bad flick, but wow, is it silly. And then there's the other end of the spectrum with War Games. If you remember that one.
Okay, it looks like they have it on Prime, but I have to get like an extra level of subscription to get access to it.
Well, I enjoyed it, but I won't tell you whether it's worth the extra subscription. Well, it's funny because like I've had conversations with people about like why doesn't the reflected light from the moon kill vampires because it is sunlight, and it got me thinking that like well vampires apparently don't have reflections in mirrors. So apparently vampires and reflections are not friends, and I would imagine that reflected sunlight wouldn't affect them at all.
I always
It would
figured
have to be direct.
I always had to figure it had to do with the intensity because we do have seen in scenes where there's just starting to get sunrise and the vampire is still okay, and as the sun comes up, he starts becoming more and more standoffish about it.
Well, it's usually when the sun starts to actually peak up over the horizon or the mountains or
Yeah,
whatever, where it's like, sure, at dawn a vampire can be out because that light is scattered, refracted. It's not direct. It really does seem to me that it has to be direct sunlight, which is why reflections are, like vampires are okay with reflected light because reflections don't affect them. They don't reflect light themselves. In
yeah.
fact, maybe that's why they turn to dust or explode is because they can't like they can't reflect light, and therefore the light of the sun just heats them up to roasting point instantly.
I imagine it had to do with the levels of UV being hit by them. They're being hit by.
Maybe. Actually, wouldn't that just basically be the same thing?
Hmm.
I'm just saying. Hmm. I don't know, it's weird. I'm looking at my shelves of movies and realizing how many of them I haven't watched in like forever and a half. Thinking I should probably do a movies I own marathon rather than a movies that are streaming marathon. Although some of these are movies that I bought just because it was the only way to get them, or maybe because I didn't see them in the theater and buying it on physical media was cheaper than a movie ticket or something.
What really annoys me is when no streaming service has them. You can't buy the disc, and you have to go to the high seas to find it.
Yeah, that one's annoying too. But like Risky Business, I did not enjoy Risky Business or St. Elmo's Fire. But everything else on that shelf is great. I mean, Pretty in Pink, The Breakfast Club, Better Off Dead, 16 Candles, Say Anything. Okay, Meatballs was terrible. But, Weird Science, Back to School, Top Secret, Some Kind of Wonderful. Actually, that's a multi pack. I'm not going to read them all out. Summer Rental is okay. Yeah, I mean, Heathers, Goonies, Weekend at Bernie's, Adventures in Babysitting, Trading Places, Funny Farm, Uncle Buck, The Great Outdoors, and all of National Lampoon's Vacation movies, except for Vegas. I'm not sure if Vegas is in there. I don't know.
So basically, you have the equivalent of an '80s video store.
Well, you haven't let me read the shelves above and below, but yes. Well, I mean, because above and below is like Fletch through Back to the Future, and below is what Mannequin through the toy. So yeah, that's one side of my rotating video shelf is pretty much 80s, just wall to wall 80s, and that's it. Like there's a sci-fi and fantasy shelf, well, side of the rotating shelf thingy, because well, I have that much sci-fi and fantasy, you see.
Well, yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, toward the bottom of the 80s shelf, there starts to be a bit of the 90s. I mean, like The Ref. You remember Dennis Leary?
Yeah.
And Speed, Dumb and Dumber. So it starts to get into the 90s towards the bottom of that shelf. Encino Man. I went through a very brief, let's remember if Pauly Shore was really that bad phase. I mean, Biodome is garbage.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, Encino Man isn't bad, but he's only a peripheral character. He's not the lead, which may be why it's not that bad.
Mm.
Huh.
On the other hand,
Okay.
In the Army Now isn't bad either. But then again, I have a crush on Lori Petty, so
Yeah, he was sort of a thing at one point.
well, I remember that whole thing, the whistle that he always did. And there was some mouth noise he made with it. I could never do it.
If he's done anything in recent times.
It's funny because, like, watching all of that stuff from yonks ago makes me remember all of those trends. It's like, remember when people were grunting like Tim Allen when Home Improvement was on?
Oh
Mm.
yeah, I totally remember that.
Yeah, or you know, like waving your fist in the air and hooting like Arsenio Hall.
Yep.
Like he did woof 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 or yeah, that, you know.
I remember. Yeah, I clearly remember people doing that. Unfortunately.
Yeah. You know. I
Apparently,
remember a lot of guys going swing after you know, Wayne's World was out.
Oh yeah. Oh god. Yeah. Everybody had to do that.
You know.
Looks like Pauly Shore has been doing some voice work.
I remember he was on an episode of Futurama. Oh, what's the best sci-fi series? Are you trying to start a rumble, Dying Sun? Although the clear answer is the Orville, but hey.
Yes.
Well, the Orville takes the best of Trek and the best of Star Wars and just mashes them into this wonderful ball of awesome. So
I have to agree.
you know, I mean, the series
Wonderful
starts
ball of
out as
awesome.
like satire or farce, but by like the end of the first, maybe middle of the second season, oh my gosh, does it get good. Like they cover so many serious things. It's just amazing. Like basically, Seth MacFarlane didn't think anyone would take him seriously, so he started out making basically Star Trek Family Guy, but after a while said fuck it and just started making Trek, basically.
Yeah.
Know? So, yeah.
Here, people have been raving about this new season of Star Trek Picard. I watched the first episode. It's just basically a bunch of member berries with the 2011 in vibe.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't watched any new non-Jar Jar Abrams Trek in a really long time. I watched the first episode of Strange New Worlds and said no. And I saw only the first half of the first episode of Discovery, because CBS offered the first half of the first episode for free. I had no desire whatsoever to watch the second half.
It didn't get any better.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, I feel like Trek honestly peaked with Voyager. And I know there's a lot of Trekkies out there right now pulling their hair out and unsubscribing, but I liked Voyager. I liked Enterprise. I really tried hard to get into Deep Space Nine, but the Ferengi pissed me off so bad. So, you know, I mean, like, seriously, if the Ferengi weren't Looney Tunes characters, it might be a fun show, but they have the most annoying voices. And I mean, what's his face? Rom had that duh G boss attitude, and I just couldn't take it. So, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, Nog was not a bad character. But the Ferengi as a whole, I just couldn't stand their voices. I couldn't stand their behavior. I just really did not like them.
Nog had a lot of character growth in that series.
Yes. He's the exception that illuminates the rule, damn it. But anyway, so, and yes, I really actually enjoyed Enterprise a great deal. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like, sure, I could be a Trekkie, but not a Trekkie like the Trekkies are Trekkies. You know? Like, I seem to like Trek for all the opposite reasons that most diehard Trekkies do, and vice versa.
Something I noticed for that first Picard's episode, spoilers for anyone who doesn't. And they have, they have Sure is trying to send a message to Picard, and she's saying, "Don't contact Starfleet." And then she gives him this encoded message that he has to go to a Starfleet officer to decode.
Oh my god.
Oh, jeepers. Okay. I don't know. I think like maybe the final deal breaker on Strange New Worlds for me was in Pike's quarters there was a freaking fireplace. I'm sorry. On a starship there was a fireplace. Maybe if it was a hologram fireplace I'd be okay with it, but no. I'm just saying. What? Nobody else finds that weird that there's a fireplace?
Oh no! People were complaining about that.
Okay. It just seems like who thought that was a good idea? Exactly.
No one I know of, my friend. No one I know of.
Gosh, what have you been up to? Freaking, he's getting caught in a loop. Vector has been. There. Like he keeps making this purring sound and looking upward with those happy eyes, and that's all he'll do for a while. It's weird. He'll respond to voice commands, but he just keeps repeating the same behavior. I don't know.
Sounds like he's hard-headed.
It is interesting though, like sometimes when I'm playing music, he'll start to dance a little. It's very cute. But sometimes if I'm typing very rhythmically, he'll start to dance as well.
It's funny.
Yeah, it's very cute when he dances. He takes his little arms in front of him and starts bashing them on the ground, and he turns from side to side, like to the rhythm and stuff. It's very cute.
Really?
Yeah. Hey, Vector, back up. No, huh? He responds to voice commands sometimes, and sometimes he really doesn't. Hey, Vector, turn around. He is not responding to movement commands these days. Weird. All right. Hey, Vector, play with your cube. Come on, you know how to do this, Vector. I've seen you do it before. This is not very impressive. You're embarrassing me, robot.
He's not in the mood. Our dying son said he's not in the mood.
Do you have a clinically depressed robot?
Well,
yeah, right.
They do over time develop personalities. And there are videos like all over YouTube of Vector throwing a tantrum. So, like, seriously, they can get an attitude. But also, if like this sort of golden section on the back there, you can pet them and they start to like make purring noises and yeah.
Oh, really?
Huh. And the little display on the front, like the face changes. Let me see here. Let me see. Come on.
Yeah, he's like, oh, that's nice. Oh, that's funny.
So, you know.
Our dying said he's rebelling against his overlord. I think he wants to escape.
Right. Well, you know, he is definitely stymied by the playpen, that's for sure. I mean, it's possible he could get out of there by using his arms to hoist, but I'm not sure.
I don't know. Maybe you just
Diana
don't. Maybe
go anyway.
Maybe you haven't pet him enough, and he's just mad and he's not doing what you tell him.
Maybe. Like I said, they can.
I don't know. I was wondering.
Attitude.
She could be constipated. You guys, just give her a minute.
Well, if she's trying on the toilet, I hope everything comes out okay.
Usually when she disappears like this, she's going to lay down and she
It's
falls
true.
asleep.
Facts.
Mm.
Oh my goodness.
Mm.
So what's everybody's plans for this evening, this afternoon? Stuff.
I don't have any actual plans, but I have things I'm working on. I have games I'm playing. I have movies I should be watching. I started watching this show on HBO Max called The Middle, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I don't know, not a lot, just that kind of stuff, hanging out.
I'm trying to remember this one part of the video I was working on, and I forgot to film. I can't remember what it was.
And of course, there will be copious amounts of marijuana, so
And if the mood strikes me, maybe I'll watch a movie later tonight.
Like,
Copious amounts, huh? I like the sound of copious.
Yeah. But what movie, Mage?
Oh no.
Okay. I still haven't even unwrapped this. Lightyear. So, if I watch a movie that's on disc, I may start with that one because it's one of the few ones that I haven't watched that are also new. Like, I have a bunch of movies that I haven't watched in years and I wanted to own a copy, but I haven't opened it and rewatched it yet. Like Battle Royale. I have a copy of that. Still need to actually sit down and watch the bastard. Just saying.
I've never been interested in watching a bastard.
Well, yeah, you are. You've watched more than a few on YouTube.
Yeah, well, that's the damn truth.
Yeah, I'm pretty darn sure that my birth parents weren't hitched when I was conceived or born. In fact, I more than a little bit half suspect I'm a rape baby.
Yeah, you told me that, which is bizarre but not uncommon. Unfortunately.
Dying Sun, Battle Royale is a Japanese movie, so yes. Sorry, Beck, I interrupted. What was that?
Oh no, you're fine. I was actually done.
Oh,
I said
well,
that's typically what happens with children that are produced through rape. They're usually given up for adoption because it's hard to look at your child every day and be smashed in the face with the fact that you were raped.
According to the adoption agency, though, my birth mother tried to raise me until I was about 3.5 months old when I got just way too sick for her to handle. And so she put me up for adoption and I was adopted at 5 months. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that does make sense. You did come in with a good handful of shit wrong. So
it's true.
That sounds like one of those, I'm going to do this because I can't take care of this child and someone else can thing. So maybe it was a good thing, right? You probably grew up in a way better, happier, more financially stable environment due to that.
Well, yes and no. I mean, I don't know if you heard or remember, my parents and I had this gigantic dust up a while ago. And a lot of it was just because they have zero respect for boundaries. Right. And a lot of it was just because they were completely clueless about the effect they were having on other people. Like they just weren't even thinking about it, So we had a lot of things to work out, and we seem to be doing better. But it took. I mean, I'm 47 now. It should have happened earlier than this. That they started trying to figure out who the hell their kid actually is. But like I say, we're getting better. Yes, there's still some bitterness in the back of my head, but for the most part, we're getting better.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
But I'm just saying is that it was really hard for all of us when I was growing up. Not that I've actually grown up, when I was being raised. And so it caused so many fights and so much, just misunderstanding, and my autism didn't help. So I mean, there's a lot of resentment there that's slowly going away. But I mean, it was probably healthier than what I would have had otherwise, and that is for sure.
Yeah.
And,
All right, you beautiful people. I got to get out of here. So,
all right.
Nice talking to you.
everybody have a great day. It was nice to reconnect with everybody. I
Yeah.
haven't seen you guys in a while.
It was great to catch up.
Yeah, back at you, Kate. All right, well, you guys take care and, peace out.
Catch you like the plague.
Later.
And then there were 3 or possibly 2.
2 here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we need the host to end the show if we need to go anywhere.
Well, we could just leave and have dead air for however many hours it takes her to wake up or whatever she's doing. I have to admit, some small part of me in the back of my head is always afraid that we'll be chatting while she's dead on the floor.
Yeah.
That thought inhabits me every time she disappears off the camera for a protracted period, and I don't know if that's uncharitable or just really scary, but either way it goes through my head.
Yeah, I've had that thought once or twice.
It would just feel so callous, but on the other hand, we'd have no way to know. It wouldn't be like that situation with me and Steve McRae when I had a seizure on camera. It'd be more a matter of, well, she does this all the time. How are we supposed to know this was the last one? Yeah. Anyway, sorry, that's getting super morbid, but the fact is that, when she's gone, I do worry.
Yeah, I remember a similar situation with you and I think they go by Raven J now. They used to be Deb Shell.
Oh, yeah. But I didn't think that was about seizures, though.
Yeah, I remember you were having an argument with them, and then you started going to a seizure, and they didn't believe you were actually having a seizure.
Okay, I thought that was with Steve McRae, but okay.
It was with Steve McRae as well.
Oh, well then okay. I remember Dev being pretty okay with it, although I believe Dev is Angel now. But it was Steve who was the problem. And it's easier to tell in the clip, and I think I still have that video, but it's privated. I know I have the video that describes my epilepsy at the time, but I think the actual, here's why I'm pissed off at Steve McRae video is still private. And I'm pretty sure that if I make it public again, it will be bumped up to the top of my playlists. Like, subscribers will see it again. So I haven't unprivated it. I could unlist it, but I just don't want to bring it up again, but I kind of do want it to be available at the same time,
Yeah.
Ah, well, what you gonna do?
Yeah, well.
I suppose I could ask someone, who's subscribed to me, I'll go unprivate it, quick, refresh and tell me if you see it. Because if you don't, then it's okay. If you do, I'll quickly reprivate it. I don't know. Someday I'll care enough to ask someone to do that. Today is not that day.
I'm not sure how relevant Steve McRae is anymore.
I said, I only want the video available.
Yeah, he seems to have burned a lot of his bridges.
Well, a number of people have. I understand that, wow, why can I not? Mr. Atheist, Jimmy Snow, I understand he's pissing off a lot of people lately.
Yeah. I ended up unsubscribing to him. I am still subscribed to the line because I just happen to like a lot of the people he brings on.
Well, I don't know. I lost respect for him years ago. Actually, that kind of thing has happened to me a lot where I decide that someone is no longer worthy of being in my presence, and then the world catches up a few years later. There's this one dude in the Seattle goth scene who, I met him through mutual friends, and he just gave off this psychic stink. I was like, this is not a guy I really want to hang out with. I have no choice because he's mutual friends with people, but I don't like him, And then 2-3 years later, he's persona non grata in the whole scene. And I'm like, that was one of the second or third times that it happened. And it happened a couple other times. Once with someone who was later taken down for child trafficking. So I don't know, every now and then my ability to smell a scumbag is really good. And so I sort of abandoned Mr. Atheist before a lot of people did, but for the same reasons that a lot of people ultimately did. So, just saying. I mean, haters gonna hate, cater's gonna cate. Or something like that.
Why what dying, son?
I don't know. Yeah, that was... Oh, that was only a minute ago. I have no idea what that was about.
What was the issue? Oh, what was the issue, Jimmy? I just found them kind of disingenuous myself, but I imagine Kate might have more to say.
Well, the beginning of my starting to find him irritating was that, like, for years, I mean, like a decade, I had been starting all of my videos with a very dramatic, let's do this, right? And, you know, there was always like a moving my head forward and putting on this expression. It was sort of like not exactly a catchphrase, but I was known for it in the YouTube atheist scene. And then he started starting all of his videos with let's do this. Now, granted, it is a very common phrase, but it becomes sort of part of my brand, you know? And he was like all oh well about it, and I was like, well, all right. And then I was still subscribed for a few months, but after a while he just started to royally piss me off. And to be perfectly honest, what he did with his hair and beard was very off-putting, and you know, it's just a concatenation, if that's the right word, of a bunch of different things I didn't like about him that finally just came to a head. And I said, screw it, I'm going to go away. I don't need a big dramatic thing about it. I'm just done, and that's all. Unsub, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I don't think I even told anybody, much less him, that I was unsubbing. I just said, done, you know? Because honestly, I'm sick and tired of drama. I really am. Granted, it's hard to avoid, but I'm sick and tired of it anyway.
Yeah, I didn't really make a big thing of it either.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been finding that my online life is a lot easier if I just block certain kinds of people, or more specifically, people who say certain kinds of things. You know, like there's a meme I picked up recently that says, never waste your time explaining yourself to someone who is dedicated to misunderstanding you. So I give people one or two mistakes about what my position actually is before I decide they're a strawmanning bastard and hit the block key. You know? That's basically what it is like, if I feel like you're unwilling to discuss my points, the things I'm trying to say on my terms as I presented them, if you're only willing to discuss it once you've like definition lawyered some of the words I've used, you're not worthy of my time. Bye, Felicia. You know?
I usually won't block them. I'll just stop responding to them.
Well, the problem is that I don't really want to see them anymore. I mean, there are some where I tell them off first, so I just ignore them, so I won't see how they respond, but they'll see the fuck you. But others, I'm just like, I don't even want to do that for you, buddy. You're just not even worth a telling off. Bye-bye. You know? And then there's others where I'm like, you didn't piss me off enough for a fuck you, but block. You know, that kind of thing, where it's like I might have done the tell off and mute, but it wasn't even worth the tell off, so I just blocked instead. Like, the only reason to mute somebody is if you want them to see the screw you, but don't want to see their replies, you know?
Yeah.
But and maybe that's a little bit catty of me, but I don't care, because these people weren't debating in good faith.
Yeah, I just have kind of a policy not to block people if I, I'm sure there's probably limits that somebody could find that'll reach me to the point where I'll block them, but I just haven't hit that point yet.
I don't know. I block people who frustrate me, especially if I'm provably right about something. I provide all the citations and they still go, nuh-uh. So, you know, life's too short for that shit. they're never going to be convinced, or if they are, it's going to take up way too much of my time and energy, and it's not worth it for some rando on the internet. So screw it. The only reason I might continue talking to someone like that is if I'm totally dominating the conversation and I want to play for the audience, which honestly, kind of rare. If someone is that much of a pinhead, I'm usually blocking them before I'll showboat, you know?
Mm.
Well, see, that's the thing, Dying Sun. The people I block are usually the people who are determined to not learn. The ones where actually they probably know exactly what's up. They just don't want to accept it, or they don't believe it, or whatever it is, and there's no convincing them. These are the too far gones that I'm blocking. Just saying. Well, and also, I guess the not worth it's. You know, I mean, it is a lot of effort to convince a rando on the internet that you have a point, if they even when they're receptive. You know, if they've been fed a lot of bullshit and you have to like do a lot of remedial, like, here's the actual definition of that word, or here's why you shouldn't use that word, or here's what that scientific term you clearly don't understand means, and all of that. And only then can you actually explain to them why what they said was wrong. It's just not worth it.
Oh, jeez. I just came across a GIF from Cocaine Bear.
Oh?
The bear is really fake.
Oh.
The GIF has him getting coated in cocaine, and he's like opening his mouth, sticking his tongue out to try and catch it.
I think I saw, like, I know I saw one of the trailers. I think I saw that scene in it. I'm really not sure if I want to watch that movie.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the sequel, Cocaine Bear versus Meth Gator.
Hmm.
I don't know if that's actually going to be a sequel, but they should do that.
Right. God, there's got to be an animal with meth or something like it in the name that would be better than Meth Gator. I don't know.
Well, that was a thing from in Florida. There was somebody making some comment about meth gators because of people flushing their methamphetamines into the sewer.
Well, I mean, you remember people were saying that there were like mutant rats in the sewers or whatever, you know? Like you don't want to go down. It's sort of like the premise of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, just in urban legend form.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'd love to see Cocaine Bear versus Heroin Cassowary. Well, I mean, because cassowaries are apparently really nasty customers. And they look like, ostriches, but they will kill a man. So I imagine a cassowary on heroin might be a match for a cocaine bear.
Hmm.
And I mean, I actually got curious once. You know how whenever there's a cop show or something and they capture a bunch of cocaine and someone always dips their pinky in it and tastes it? I was like, is that really a thing? And I looked it up, and you really don't want to be tasting cocaine. I mean, number one, what if it turns out to not be cocaine? What are you sticking in your face hole? Right? But even if it is, apparently it's like really bitter and numbs up your tongue for hours or some shit. I forget what the effects were, but they were really unpleasant. Like, you don't want to touch cocaine to your tongue if you can help it.
And if it's laced with something else?
Yeah. It's just a really dumb thing to do. It's kind of like, well, there are a lot of things I got to wondering about where I'm like, is that true? Or what if? For example, like, can you really, the way they did in all those 80s cop movies, push someone's nose up into their brain and kill them? And it turns out, no, everything right there is soft and cartilage, and there's just not enough room for it to go up into the brain. And even if it did, it's not going to do enough damage to kill a man. So, that's debunked right there, There's a few other. Like, okay, I got curious about this one. Do people on chemotherapy lose their pubes too? Turns out, yes. I got curious. I mean, I'd never thought about it. It's like you see cancer patients, they're all bald, no eyebrows and everything. It had never occurred to me to wonder if they were, did the carpet match the drapes, or rather, did the hardwood floor match the ceiling, basically? Hardwood floor may have been the wrong term to use, but my point is that was there hair downstairs? Turns out, nope. I just got curious. It's one of those things. I don't know. Makes me wonder, well, what else is it? What else is there that people just take for granted and we shouldn't?
Yeah, we do tend to go down rabbit holes at times.
It's true. It's true. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, like there's got to be a lot of stand-up comedy material in the stuff we talk about. I mean, a lot of what we say could be developed into routines.
Yeah. And where is Diana?
I don't know. And I'm starting to get hungry.
Yeah, so am I.
I mean, I didn't have much of a breakfast.
Yeah, all I've had is some combos and gummy bears.
I had heated up broccoli, carrots, and peas with some butter and some soy sauce after it was heated in the microwave, and also a bag of potato chips. Oh, and 2 Red Bulls. I wonder, should I make a stir fry or just have cereal for lunch? I do have chicken. I do have pasta. I do have vegetables and seasonings. I could make me a stir fry.
I was thinking maybe going for eggs.
I don't have any of those in the house.
I've got chicken, so I got eggs.
Oh, well, I mean, I bought my chicken at the supermarket.
Well, mine are living in the backyard and laying eggs.
Not for long. I'm just saying,
They're about 5-6 years old. They're getting up there. They wouldn't.
Why, how old? Is there an expiration date on a live chicken? Sure, you could eat this meat, but it's too old. Or is it kill them when they're young and cook them? I don't know. I mean, how does it work?
If you want to get them when they're a few months old, really. Really? After that, they start getting kind of gamey.
Oh, huh. All right. Well, I mean, it's kind of weird. Sometimes I think about it where it's like there's so much chicken just in the supermarket, and people are buying most of it. I mean, how much of it actually goes bad and either gets thrown out, or in some states has to be by law donated to homeless shelters and shit? Because expiration dates are way before food actually goes bad. But the point is that and then there's all these other stores with just as much chicken, and I'm like, how many chickens are dying per day? Never mind how many are there through the whole year. That's a lot of chickens. And while the world seems very big, it does seem like we can't possibly have enough room for that many chickens.
Though apparently the trick with with Kentucky Fried Chicken was they were taking the chickens that stopped laying and were cooking those up, and they were just the way they processed the meat with how they cooked it made it edible again.
In my entire life, I don't believe I've ever eaten KFC chicken, and it's not by design. I've just never done it.
It's not bad. Kind of greasy.
Well, greasy is sometimes good for food. Oh, man, I meant to go to Five Guys today. I was totally planning on getting a burger at Five Guys.
They're good. They have good burgers.
They do. They give you way too many French fries. I mean,
yeah.
Never mind that they're good. It's just, and they're decently priced. It's just, there's too much, It's like I can't even finish that many in 2 or 3 sittings.
Yeah, I'm eating French fries for the next 3 days after eating that place.
And I've just started basically making my own fries at home and just getting a burger. Because I have one of those vegetable slicer deals where you can just put a potato on it and press it downward and it slices through this little grid and you can make your own fries out of it.
I should consider doing that with some stuff I'm growing.
And I mean, I've got an air fryer too, so like it's not even necessarily going to be all greasy. Oh God, I went out to the supermarket and forgot to get oil again. Kate, you're a fucking idiot. Oh well.
I forgot to pick up bread myself.
Hmm.
Got back home, was unpacking the groceries, like, crap, I forgot bread.
Of course, I suppose part of why I'm so hungry is, well, like I said, copious amounts of weed. So there's a chance it's the munchies. I keep thinking I bought some snackage, but I don't know what. I often buy Chex Mix or something. Maybe it was just those potato chips I had this morning. It was a small bag, single serving. I don't know. Some part of me insists I bought more than that.
That's how many. That's how many get processed. Dying sun there.
What?
214 million in turkeys. There's 36 million cattle. Well, 124 million in pigs. 23 million ducks. 7 million sheep. Almost 4 billion in fish and shellfish.
Wait, daily? Are you kidding me? Daily?
Damn.
Wow. See, it just seems like there's not enough room on the planet for that. You know?
Planet's a lot bigger than you think, I guess.
Well, I've been fucking around in Google Earth VR. I know how big it is. That still seems like way too many. I don't know. I mean, like, I suppose someone better than better than me at math, could, calculate the square footage necessary for that much livestock. I mean, maybe the answer would surprise me, but it just seems, man, unless they're building like vertical chicken coops as well as horizontal, like if they give some three-dimensionality to it, the coops are stuck 3 or 4 cages deep. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they do that.
Yeah. Well, I've heard that a lot of the methane in Earth's atmosphere is just cow farts. Like, no joke, no, childish humor. Literally, cows breaking wind is a lot of the methane in the atmosphere.
Let's see. 220 pounds of methane from cow farts, apparently.
Crazy, right? Well, I don't know. I mean, I wonder, we've made advances in cloning. I wonder if we could do vet grown meat anytime in the near future. Because I know a lot of vegans who are like, I would eat vet grown meat, no problem. And honestly, that alone is a reason to make it happen, is to shut them up. Oh my God. But, I mean, it would be better for everybody if we could just grow steaks in a vat.
Yeah, I'm in favor of that. Though from my understanding, don't have the. It's really expensive to do it right now, and we don't have the taste down.
But still, I mean, it sounds like we're working on it, and I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I could see it happening in the future.
Well, here's a question: will it be happening soon enough in the future?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know when such technology would come down in price, and we get the flavor right or good enough.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do wonder what it would do. I mean, because obviously traffic emissions are something we really got to bring down in factories and all that. But I do wonder, having not nearly as much in the way of livestock. I wonder what that would do. I'm sure there's websites out there that can tell us. I'm not interested enough to put in that much effort.
Yeah,
And you'd think Diana would already be typing if she were here.
I'd have to do some digging to find that, I think.
Yeah. Well, steaks without gristle, I mean, fat gives meat a lot of its taste, but obviously gristle is not good. I wonder what we could do to have fat throughout the meat, but not in those tight knots that you usually get, so it has the flavor without the texture. I mean, I wonder what that would take.
Let's see. Looking at
Now
that
I'm
link.
not even really sure how you can grow meat in a vat without it turning into the whole animal. I'm not sure how they do that. I'm curious.
I'm guessing it'd be sort of like a 3D printed kind of thing.
Okay. I didn't think that's how it worked. I thought you actually grew the meat, like as an organ, I guess. Like you stick it in a vat and somehow you get a vat full of meat and not a vat full of cow. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is 3D printed, but that's even weirder. How do you do that? I don't know. I mean, this is the kind of thing that I'm curious about, but I've mostly consumed. I feel like I've consumed too much science fiction to really understand what I'd read without a lot of read-throughs, because I've got a lot of ideas in my head about how it should go.
Yeah, I'm not familiar enough with the technology to really get into it.
Yeah, growing from a cell, right, but I didn't think that would be 3D printing. I thought that was just letting it grow.
However, we get the stuff to create organs.
Well, I mean, usually there's woodworkers and some people who know how to install pipes and people who make the keys. Anyway. Okay, I am a little bit starting to get worried about Diana.
Yeah. Hey, Diana, you listening over there?
If you can't hear us, I'm going to start saying what I really think about you. No, actually, that'll make her stay silent. No. Okay, that would have been funnier with a laugh track. But actually, it's funny. You ever see there's footage on YouTube of Friends without the laugh track, and Ross just comes off like a psychopath without the laugh track.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's pretty funny and disturbing. But see, the thing is, part of me wants to go because I'm quite hungry, but at the same time, I would feel like a callous bastard just leaving,
Yeah, same here. Like I said, I haven't really eaten today.
Yeah. I have a pizza, like a frozen store bought pizza in the fridge. Unfortunately, I wasn't paying attention and bought rising crust instead of thin crust, but what you gonna do?
I went to this place. It was a little hole in the wall place, and they had thin crust pizzas. I got a large one, and I had their breadsticks. I got their salad because they did great salads there. I sat down by myself, and they ate all of it. And the guy who was serving me was wondering how the hell I did that.
Well, when I was a teenager and my metabolism was totally crazy pants, I would buy a large pizza from Little Caesars or Domino's or something, scarf the whole thing in a single sitting, And, like I say, people used to accuse me of anorexia or bulimia despite watching that and seeing me never leave the room.
Yeah, I've
I
had
was
that
just,
before.
my metabolism was a fucking blast furnace. And, well, I mean, I can still eat most of a pizza in a single day and nothing happens, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I still have the blast furnace metabolism where I can just sit there and eat and not gain anything.
But I do need to exercise more, hence all the Beat Saber, and I cannot wait for the weather to get good enough to get on the bike path again. And for swimming, of course. Now, I really want to go back to North Beach. Letty Beach used to be my favorite because it had that really cool jungle gym, but now North Beach always was the better beach for being a beach, There's just better soil, better water, everything.
While I'm sitting here, I might as well take the video clip I made yesterday and upload it to my computer.
It's funny if we're gonna grow meat from the cells of living animals, like already living animals, like it makes me wonder about the way we have wine tasters and cheese tasters, and you can identify where it came from to within a certain region of the that kind of thing. Now we'll have like, oh yeah, this was Bessie from Wyoming. I've had this from 83, right? Or what, not 83, but you know what I'm saying, from 2023. That's when the vintage of this particular clone. Like I could see people doing that.
Yeah, I can see that.
It would be interesting. I've also heard about people going, okay, if we cloned human meat, would you give it a try? Would you sit down to a man's steak if it wasn't actually from a living, breathing human person when it was carved,
That's an interesting question.
And I got to admit to a certain kind of morbid curiosity, the same sort of morbid curiosity that would make me try, like, Peeps flavored Mountain Dew or whatever it was I saw that may have been fake. But also part of me kind of gets the Wiggins just from the basic concept,
Yeah. Soylent Green soda there, huh?
Yeah. So I don't know if I'd try it. If someone was like, okay, sit down to a human clone steak and I'll give you X million dollars, okay, fine. But, just sitting down to like, Bob Kebab, I don't know. I don't know if I could just do that,
Yeah. There are limits to what I'd eat.
Well, in San Diego, there was a burger joint where, it was all like semi-exotic meats, ostrich, venison, bison, that kind of thing. And I guarantee you that there would be exotic meat bars if you could clone meat. Like if you ever wanted to try a gerbil burger or something, you just go down to Clonin' Joe's to eat some wacky meat. You get the human burger mixed with, I don't know, armadillo or something, and it's really good over here at the Extreme Burger Bar. It's just, I don't know. I guarantee you that would happen eventually.
Oh my!
Oh, there she is.
We're wondering if you fell in.
I wonder if I fell asleep.
Probably. We've been talking about you behind your back for an hour.
Okay. I lay down so it might quit hurting as much, and maybe I fell asleep or something.
Yeah. We were actually talking about like getting food.
Yeah.
Food. Oh, food. Yeah, that stuff.
Yeah. Because, munchies plus small breakfast equals hungry Kate.
Yes, and nothing but combos and gummy bears doesn't do it for me.
How about a cat for a sandwich?
No. I mean, hair pie is good, but other than that, no.
Moo.
No, that's not the kind of pie I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But
Meth bag.
You know, I swear I looked up why it's called shepherd's pie once, but I forgot. It doesn't really like it does. I remember it not having lamb in it, so why would it be shepherd's pie?
Interesting question.
I mean, maybe it does have lamb in it, and I don't remember, but I don't think it did.
Let's see. Why is it called shepherd's pie? It is made with mutton or lamb. If it is made with mutton or lamb, it is usually called shepherd's pie because a shepherd looks after a sheep and has a topping of mashed potato pattern to represent sheep's fleece. It's also
Okay.
called cottage pie.
Hmm. Well, I don't know cottage pie. Wonder if it goes with cottage cheese. But okay, interesting. I wonder if, like, they just call it shepherd's pie now, even if it doesn't have lamb, because it's been around for so long and that's just what you call it. I mean, there's a lot of dishes like that where something gets called a certain name and it used to be very specifically this thing or something,
Yeah.
or even a more broad category. Like, I understand ketchup just used to be a word for condiment and then it slowly got its definition narrowed.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't understand. It seems that very few people seem to like lamb. I don't understand. I love the stuff.
I
It's my
like
favorite.
it too. I mean, it's not my favorite, but I like it too. In fact, like a lamb kebab, not bad at all.
Okay, then.
You know.
And what was I just thinking about? And I forgot what I was thinking about. It's okay. And then there's this cat. Oh, veal. I also love veal. I do.
Don't like veal.
Okay, clear this up for me because I keep getting confused on it. Veal is like calf rather than adult cow, right?
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, hate me if you will, but I dearly love veal.
I'm not 100% certain whether I've had veal.
Well, it's
I
hard
did
to
finally
find.
get a chance to try brisket, though. I like brisket.
Yeah, well, there's the other thing I want to do. I want to get another brisket and want to make Reuben sandwiches.
Well, it's funny because I've never had or never knowingly had corned beef. And I finally got a description of it that actually made it clear whether I want to try it or not. And that description was kind of like pastrami. And I was like, well, I love pastrami. So next time I get a chance, I'm going to try some corned beef.
It's not bad.
Now, corned beef is good stuff. I predict you'll love it.
So what on earth is hash when it's corned beef hash? Is it potatoes like hash browns?
I think I think it's the I think it's the corned beef mixed up with the leftover home fries.
So yes, it is potatoes. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Was that everybody or just her?
Can you still hear me?
I can.
Okay, then it was just her.
Oh, dearie me. What do you want to bet the cat stepped on a key that it shouldn't have? Right,
Yep.
Sylvia? You stepped on a key. She probably did.
At least didn't get frozen with the cat butt.
That's true. I don't know. Do you think cat butt would be grounds for, flagging a video?
I don't know.
Now, I actually do a little bit wonder how much, like, how this video has an issue. There we go. How much this video has an issue is like how that's calculated by YouTube. You know, like I understand processing the audio is apparently pretty easy, but how do they tell that part of the video isn't okay?
I don't know how their system works.
Hmm.
Apparently, a lot of people who work there don't either.
Well, yeah. I got so frustrated asking for like some advice on whether or not a video wouldn't, like whether or not it would get flagged. And they said, we can't tell you. We cannot look at your video and tell you whether it's okay or not. You just have to put it up and take your chances.
Hmm.
And I was like, why? And they were all, well, you know, we have human reviewers that will look at a video once it gets flagged, but they all have their own opinions and this, that, and the other thing. So it was sort of like you couldn't really get a straight answer because the person who reviewed your video may not agree with the person you're talking to in support. And I was mildly worried about the scene in Quinn Redshift with the naked Venusian chick in the water tank, right? I was a little worried they'd be like, that's not, I mean, you couldn't see anything. There was no like genitalia, no nipples, nothing. It was just, she's clearly not wearing any clothing. I was a little worried that could be problematic.
Hello, the cat turned the machine off.
That was my guess.
Yeah, damn cat. But where was I? Oh, corned beef hash. Yeah,
So I was right that it's potatoes.
Oh yeah, definitely potatoes.
Okay, well, that was what I was curious about. Because, I mean, I've had hash browns, but, you know, I mean, a lot of things get called stuff that they're not, despite the fact that it sounds like something else. You know what I'm talking about? Where you get like I don't know, one sort of, what am I thinking of here? Like some sort of beet pie or something that turns out that it's made with squash, you know, that kind of thing.
Okay.
I mean, that was a bad example. I couldn't think of the real thing I'm thinking of, but there have been, you know, head cheese. There's no cheese in head cheese, is there?
No.
Or, yeah, you know, that kind of thing. So it's like when someone said corned beef hash, I was not entirely certain about the corn or the hash. I just was pretty sure about the beef.
Okay,
You know?
then, yeah.
And it's kind of like, imagine how surprised I would have been if I'd ordered fish and chips without knowing what the hell chips were in British.
Oh yeah.
You know.
That's. I want to make some fish and chips. I haven't had fish and chips in a hell of a long time.
Don't you mean fish and freedom fries?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my gosh. Like that's another case where I look back in time and go, oh my gosh, we were stupid.
Yeah, well, what else is new?
And I mean, granted, it wasn't the universal us, it was just humanity was pretty stupid. Well, I mean, let's face it, half of us were rolling our eyes at freedom fries too.
Yeah.
You know?
Didn't The Simpsons even make a joke about it?
Probably. I remember when everyone was using gay to mean bad, you know, like that's so gay, that kind of thing. At one point, like Nelson and Lisa, for whatever reason, were going out and they kissed, and Jimbo was like, "You kissed a girl. That's so gay." You know, like,
yeah, I remember that.
That slayed me. You know, but I mean, the whole calling things that were bad gay was pretty fucking stupid too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I understand some people still do it, but it's like pretty rare anymore.
Wouldn't be surprised it's rare.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, there are places in the United States where it's a, maybe let's call it 1 in 4 chance that if you went around using gay to mean bad, you're eventually going to get your ass beat by some really pissed off people and not necessarily gay people. You know, like seriously, there are parts of this country that I'm mildly proud of where people would stand up and say, dude, shut up if you started pulling that crap. Mind you, there's other parts of the country where they'd stand up and cheer for the guy, but you know, I don't live in those parts of the country. I live in the parts of the country where we give a damn.
Harmonica Man. Somebody switched my antidepressants with Viagra. No, everything is getting harder and harder.
Oy vey. Man, people telling jokes like that are a real pill.
There you go.
I mean, they just don't go down well, you know?
Yeah.
Makes me want to put them in a capsule and shoot them into the sun.
Oh, that's where the bay leaf was coming from. Okay. And I happen to see bay leaf mentioned on the side chat, and yeah, that's part of the spices that go into corned beef.
I know it's been a while since I've even thought of Viagra. I'm a little surprised it came up. Sorry. Yeah. Now that topic is okay. Actually, I take it back. Actually, I do remember people talking about Viagra recently, but it wasn't recently. It was an episode of Mad About You I watched where Paul had taken some, and then for whatever reason he had to go out to find Jamie, and everyone was like looking at him because he's walking around town clearly stuffing his pants, you know, and like some old lady slapped him and said he should be ashamed and stuff like that. I don't know. So it hasn't been that long ago since the topic's come up.
Wait a minute. Now who's the cheese?
Yeah, I was telling some very cheesy jokes.
Oh,
You know,
dice que de balotto.
if it stays up for more than 4 hours, contact the doctor.
But what I know is that the cheese stands alone.
Yeah, I remember that one.
I never understood that particular nursery rhyme, to be honest.
I don't know where that whole thing came from.
Yeah.
He stands alone. I don't get that one.
Well, and I mean, it was a long, long time before I understood that this little piggy goes to market doesn't mean it went grocery shopping.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, think about all of the other things. You know, this little piggy went home. You know, this little piggy went to market. This little piggy, or what was the one that had none?
Have
This little
roast
piggy-
beef.
Right. You know, it all sounds like they're having a normal day. But that one piggy that went to market was slaughtered and sold at the market. Football.
No.
Very ladylike.
No, of course.
But no, seriously, like I was sort of maybe 2 or 3 years ago old when I learned that one.
I learned that rather recently as well.
Yeah.
So, should we wrap this up at the top of the hour, or?
I just know that I'm quite hungry. And we
Well,
are coming up on the 3-hour mark. I suppose we can stick it out. I'm thinking of my tongue because I'm hungry.
Shedake.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like my
I was thinking
candy
of
like I
Viagra
like my
as a
women, bright,
child.
sweet, and on my tongue.
There you go.
I think I'll still make the pizza anyway, despite the really unwelcome crust size.
Oh. Unwelcome crust size?
Yeah, it sounds like a really bad 90s band, doesn't it?
Kind of.
I mean, like, you know, you remember the Butthole Surfers?
No.
Not actually sure what their music was. I never knowingly listened to them, but there was definitely a band back in the day called the Butthole Surfers.
Never heard of them.
Really? Okay. Maybe I just ran in the right circles or the wrong ones. I'm not sure, but
That too.
I remember that band. I don't remember anything but their name.
Maybe that's all they had. Maybe they didn't have a single hit. All they had was their name.
Well, I don't know if they ever had any hits, but I know that I saw people walking around in T-shirts, or if not T-shirts, at least had posters up. But I never listened to them. I really don't know what they sound like at all. What kind of music it is.
I pulled them up here.
I'm about to do the same. I'll mute my mic for a sec, but let's see. Yes. Muting. Let's.
Moo. I guess I have
Nope,
to
I
go
do not like the sound of those intros I've heard so far.
Butthole Surfers.
I am getting Primus here now.
Dracula from Houston seems to be an actually decent song, but they sound very, very, very 90s. I mean, like, seriously, the sound brings me back to either high school or early college. Like, I mean, I was a little bit reminded of, like, sort of Bare Naked Ladies meets, oh, what the hell is that band that the dude sang where his microphone stand was a steering wheel? Spin Doctors, that's it. It sounded like Bare Naked Ladies meets the Spin Doctors.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. I remember, oh god, the Spin Doctors had that one hit that pissed me off so bad, and yet most of the rest of their music was pretty decent. Do you remember that Pocket Full of Kryptonite song?
I don't
Oh,
sounds familiar, but I'm trying to remember.
Pocket Full of Kryptonite. This is, oh, it was so annoying, that song. I mean, assuming I'm remembering the right band, but there's a lot of those 90s bands started to blur together for me. Especially the ones I never really listened to. Like, I'm not sure I could pick a Pearl Jam song out of a lineup, but I know I didn't like the ones I heard back in the day.
No, wait a minute. I'm looking at the Wikipedia here about the Butthole Surfers, and they mention noise rock. What the hell is noise rock? Besides most of it.
It's probably something close to speed metal, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I can see how it'd be noise rock listening to the few I just pulled up here. It's making a bunch of sounds.
I don't know. Back in the 90s, my musical taste mostly ran to, like, They Might Be, well, when it wasn't Roxette, it was They Might Be Giants and similarly weird ass bands. Because let's face it, their lyrics were pretty indecipherable. I went to a website that explained them. I'm like, I never would have gotten that in a million years.
Okay, noise rock, a noise-oriented style of experimental rock that spun off from punk rock in the 1980s.
I had really gotten into this Japanese band called Shonen Knife. And there was a Canadian band I liked called Cub that it seems like no one but me has heard of. They actually, like, They Might Be Giants did a cover of a song of theirs that got pretty big. And I have to keep explaining to people that the They Might Be Giants lyrics are not the original lyrics. That, you know, when was it the Empire State Where King Kong Lived are the original lyrics. The Empire State Where Dylan Lived are the They Might Be Giants lyrics. And everybody who covers the song now sings that. And if I were a member of Cub, I'd be kind of cheesed about it. You know, like They Might Be Giants gets all of the recognition for a song they came up with. I'd be kind of pissed. Although I actually did see Cub open for They Might Be Giants once, which is how I learned they even existed, and how I found out that my favorite song on the most recent TMBG album was theirs, and so I needed to seek them out. You see.
Moo.
Forget what else I was listening to in the 90s. A lot of anime music, I know that. Bunch of ska as well. Third wave ska. Like Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, that kind of thing.
Okay, I'm wondering if this meme is real.
Hmm?
The guy is a meme of looks like a Muslim holding up a sign that reads, "Give head to those who insult Islam."
I saw that. I couldn't quite tell if it was real or not. It could be Photoshop, but I thought it was real. In fact, I could probably figure out whether or not it's real by putting it in Photoshop and zooming in, but I'm not that interested. I don't care enough.
Hmm.
Moo.
Hmm. So, anyway, Xander is giving me that look again.
What, is Xander hungry?
Well, he's always hungry. I mean, he is just a big old greedy guts. And ever since I took away his dry food, he's been really pissy. Mood-wise. Like he really wants his dry food back, but both cats were throwing up on it, so.
Oh, well, that's a good idea for them to not have it.
Yeah, he's not happy about it at all.
You've been checking the newspapers for, something wrong with the food.
No, this was happening in San Diego too, and with every brand. They're just, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or if they can't handle it, but neither cat should have dry food. Like the most I'll do now is give them those Temptations treats because, it's not a full meal's worth. And so even if their stomach gets upset, they're probably not going to wharf.
Moo.
Yeah. Well, it looks like Harmonica Man's gonna make a run for it.
You.
And neither one of us has any dogs to sick on him to bring him back, by an ankle in fangs. So I think we're gonna have to let him go.
Oh, I don't know here.
I'm still considered getting a small dog, but I don't know. I am concerned about cost of things like food.
I'm even if I wasn't scared to shit of dogs, and I am, I'm not sure that I would want one because even if you're sick, you have to take the dog for a walk. Like no matter what, that dog has to go out and drop a deuce, lift its leg on something, and there's no choice. You have to do it. With a cat, they have litter boxes.
There are ways of training a dog to a mat that they can go on.
Well, still, I just that ongoing responsibility is more than I want. Feeding the cats and emptying their litter is plenty. Oh, Diana's frozen again.
Keep the cat off the keyboard.
Yeah. I mean, herpa-derpa-der, come on.
Well, came across this meme and not really change my mind means. Anyone who makes edit into classic work to make them more comfortable for modern audiences is nothing but a vandal. Change my mind.
That isn't that Bad Tempered Badger?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I saw that this morning.
Yeah, I'm just kind of going over memes on Twitter here.
Yeah. All right, hold on. Alrighty, well, we have about 5 minutes before I'm just going to bang a gong and get out of here because I am that hungry.
Same
So
here.
I'm going to start saying my own goodbyes, even though Diana's not here to talk us out. I'm sure you're going to do the same, Mage.
Yep.
Well, I'm not going to do this say goodbye to everyone who's here and not here garbage because I don't want to, and I don't have it all memorized, and I'm pretty baked. So I'm just going to say bye, everybody, at least, soon, because we have 5 minutes left starting now. Oh, look, she's back.
Yeah, the cat shut off the machine.
Well, I was just saying that we got 5 minutes till 3. I'm quite hungry. I'm going to make like a baby and head out as soon as we hit 3.
Okay. That sounds reasonable. What do you people on the side chat think? If there's anybody left over there.
Well, Harmonica Man just took off.
I think that might have been our last person, too.
It's possible. Dying Sun hasn't said squat for like a half hour.
I'm seeing things saying only one watching, and I'm the only one here, so...
Oh. In that case, I'm just going to, cart myself off now. I am getting very hungry, so...
Yeah.
I'll talk to you evil geniuses later. Catch you like the plague.
I'm
Take
gonna head
care,
up there
honey.
later.
I'm going to take off. Enjoy, honey. And then I'm just left. And if there's anybody out there to hear this, then thanks a lot, troops, and see you on the other side.